Good evening, everybody. Hey, Mrs., how are you tonight?
I'm fine. I'm working on a task that you gave me.
I know I had actually I muted myself half a second ago.
Sorry.
Caught you off guard. Sorry about that.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. Sorry. Of course, leave it to Boomer Man walking to do something different and odd tonight. So, hey, welcome, folks. Glad to see y'all. It's 2 minutes after 8 p.m. on the East Coast of the great United States and the Eastern time zone, folks. Wow, what a night we have. Well,
Yes.
we are at the end of the journey. It's
Yes.
been a long 16 days. We've recapped it. This will be our seventh show to recap. So
Hmm.
the journey was even fat on this was faster than in real life.
Well, yes, it
Yeah,
was.
my gosh.
But
Yeah,
I
we
tell
got
you,
yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
We got 9 people already in the chat waiting for us tonight. I tell
Well,
you what,
welcome everyone.
we'll just greet everybody in just a minute while a few more come in. We'll take a few minutes to babble a little bit because folks, we were kind of worn out after last night. One of the most amazing streams that I'm not sure we're still yet wait to see.
Everything settled down, but
Yeah, we're trying to wait till things settle down. But if you notice, we are at 421 subscribers tonight.
yes.
So we blew way past 400 last night. So we didn't even stop at 375. But it was a wild night, wasn't it? I mean,
Oh, it was crazy. We were watching the view numbers. They went up to like 200, 200. I think 230 might have been.
I think I saw 260 something.
Maybe, it might have been, but yeah, it was above 200. It was crazy, and then it would drop, and then to go back up. It was just insane. We didn't know if YouTube was having a crisis or what, but we were just enjoying it. It was pretty cool, and but we know we were pretty sure that there was at least 80 people there because we did a poll
Mm-hmm.
and 80 people participated in it, right?
Yeah.
So we're figuring that there's always a few that don't. So we're figuring might have had 100 people, which is amazing in itself. We so, and we do know
Yes.
that we did get quite a few subs. Um, because
65.
we know
That's
that there
what
were
they
some for
say.
sure because people told us in the chat. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
so
So I was like, well, we're
did
just
did
waiting to
you
see
share this already?
what happens.
The live?
I'm starting to pull right now, but I got to shut
Yeah,
the
you
door.
do the poll. I got
Open.
it.
So we got, yeah, then, yeah. All right. So, hey, but hey, folks, thank y'all for being here tonight. We're getting the poll ins early before I forget. Um, so, so we got nature, wildlife, food. What was the other ones?
The live drives,
Okay.
the drive streams we called them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Small
the small
attractions.
attractions.
Okay. All right, folks, we're going to put that out in the chat right now for you. Um, so,
Oh well, oh, I'm sorry.
I get it.
The notifications worked. Yay! Sorry.
What?
I'm,
Okay.
I'm
What
just,
did? Okay. I don't know. I'll get to it in a second. But what did you enjoy the most from the series of Detour with the Dadmans? Nature, wildlife, food, small attractions, live drive stream. So hey, folks, thank y'all for being here, and we're going to say hello, people in the chat. So I have no clue what you just responded to. So let's get to it together. How shall we?
yes, yes, we shall.
So far, we're still there. We're still there, folks. Okay, but let's say hi to the great Castle who comes in first as a leadoff batter.
Hello.
We walked and pitched to the Rhino, which is stunning and brave. Get on with the ceremony, according to Starscream.
We're going as fast as we can.
Hey, Courtney. Hey, good to see you, Courtney. Glad you're here with us tonight. Thanks for coming by, saying hi. Feel free. Everybody sit back, relax, get you a drink and stuff. If you haven't been to any of the shows, sit back with us, and we're going to have some memories and come back. And greetings and salutations to you, the great Daisy Blossom Flower Child. The missus says hello.
Hello, hello.
Buddy comes in with howdy, waving the pink hand of friendship. And Moira Kitty, meow,
Meow.
meow,
You
meow.
sound like a sick cat.
What? Meow,
Meow.
meow. What is that? A sick cat?
No, the first one was.
Oh well, I had to get my vocal cords warmed up.
Uh,
I could do meow, meow.
okay, we can stop doing that. Everybody,
Okay.
we all can agree that was a little creepy, right?
I try so hard. Anyway, and Daisy's waving back with a paws out there, so you can see. And purrs to Castle and to Daisy. Let's see where we go. Let's see where we go here. Down with the chat. So hey, and you got a purr, and let's see. Oh, Daisy says, "Mice need not fear me. I'm a very friendly kitty." And hello to the great Mr. Angel.
Hello, hello.
Hello, good to see you, my friend, tonight. Good to see you. So, um, and
I'm trying to figure out what to put in on the poll, which one to vote for, because, oh,
yeah, and actually, and Liam streams Daisy streams with her son Liam over there on Twitch. So go over there if you haven't yet. Also, let's see. Mr. Angel. Yeah. Oh, that's what you're saying. I can't believe
that's
you
what I'm
actually
that's,
warned him on time. That's a great day. Yay. Well, then, Mr. Angel, I don't know. I'm still trying to trust what happened last night because I'm waiting to be told bad, but it's all, we'll enjoy it. But yes, I'm glad you got here on time with the wonderful thing. And thank you, Daisy. Absolutely. Yeah, Castle. I appreciate it. I have no idea what happened. Hope they're there. Hope to see a lot of these other people very soon. And we'll get a bigger party going to watch all kinds of silly stuff. And Mr. Angel, yeah, it definitely works. And hello to Low Spec Linux Laptop. I've seen you around so many places. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome. Good to see you tonight.
glad you're here.
Yeah, everybody, since we're talking out of the algorithms, make sure you smash that like button and sub if you haven't here on the YouTube side. And let's, follow me on Twitch if you haven't already. So I did not know Mr. Angel had this inning.
Oh,
Wow.
please call.
Wow.
Please call. We need to pay for our trip. I'm just kidding.
Daddy Kitty. That is just wow. And you're so welcome, Daisy. Y'all always do so much for us and for Ang, and thank you for all that you do. So, oh my goodness. So we've got 10 people here hanging out with us, Mrs. Before we get started on tonight's thing, I've actually had to work to try to be brief because we have 2 battlefields tonight. So, and one of them's a huge battle, huge battle, but it's we're trying to do a recap too with this end on the last night. I will say, preface this with this: you probably will see fewer pictures along the way on the road trip on this leg of the trip because we really got to the point of it was like.
It was number one. It wasn't as pretty in between places, and honestly, I was just getting tired, and I was enjoying the live streams that we were doing, and so yeah, there's
Exactly.
not a lot of in between pictures.
It's really Alabama and Georgia and Florida, I-10. And you know what? You cut off it. Oh, God, there's nothing uglier than I-10 in Florida.
Yep.
Yep. You drive that so much. That reminds me of a story, Mrs. I'm going to hold it for when we show the things at the end. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, I think without further ado, we're at 8:10. Let's look and see if anybody else is coming in. Before we start with this day, the previous day we had come from Arkansas across northwest Arkansas all the way through Arkansas up into northern Mississippi.
We have someone that's come. Oh, 2 people that have just come in. I'm sorry.
Oh, hello. Hey, Squeak a Mouse. Good to see you. Uh-oh. Hey. Oh, God. Is what you get for the Barry White cat voice? Oh my God! Hey, all right. I know he wasn't talking about my cat voice, but hey, So hey, you got to fix that number, Mr. Angel. So that's all cool. Evening, Yemi. Hey, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. So, um, and Daisy says the live drive streams were so fun. It truly felt as if we were in the car with us. Well, I tell you what, I will say that again, and we've said it, and we'll probably say it before the end. You know, one of the questions that we had is was like, how are you going to stand each other for 16 days in a car for because some of the drives were 11-hour drives without stopping for gas, food, or anything else. And people were like, how are y'all going to stand each other? Because like when we got back, it was kind of like, okay, go, we go to you get your little separation things and stuff. But it was like, it was a question we had to deal with. And then other people asked us about how do you deal with keep the streaming going. And, it just was a natural thing. You remember?
Yeah.
Because we did that one day with a test one, and Stunning fell in love with your hand motions in the Buc-ee's parking lot.
Yeah, I was very
yeah. And hello, Appion, good to see you, sir. Good to see you tonight. Yeah,
but those streams too. I love those streams also because it was like you guys were there and enjoying it with us, and it just made me happy to be able to share some of the drive with us. We went through some of the national parks and on the drive streams, and just some of this stuff. It was just so neat to do, and yeah, I if we go travel again, I will definitely do drive streams if we have a signal. I just think they're so much fun.
See, I'm torn. I think in a way it was good that we didn't, because you and I got to spend time focusing like on the Iron Mountain Road and some things like that, or like the loop road around.
Of course, there were some things that, yeah.
But it was also kind of, it would have been nice to have been able to stream it to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of one of those mixed bag, like it would have been nice, but I think in the end we probably was better we did it the way we did it. Then nobody knew we got I kept buying those damn bags of donuts every morning after you bought it the first time. They were like coconut crunchy ones. So hey,
yeah.
All right, so let's check in with the poll real quick. Let's see the poll right now. So far, with 11 votes in, make sure you vote. 64% for the live drive streams, 18% for nature wildlife, 9% for food and small attractions. So hey, y'all keep voting in there. Let's have 300 million people tonight. I'm just kidding, but see, hey, yeah, more, exactly. Hours in the car is easier with the right person. Exactly, and the missus. Yeah,
normally what I do when Dadman is driving is I fall asleep.
Yep.
And I knew that I couldn't fall asleep on this one.
Yep.
So the live streams helped me also stay awake and joke and laugh and do something instead of falling asleep.
Oh man, and let's say hello to Jess. Yes, because all you people coming back from Disney go to sleep and leave me up. Poor Ninja one, I had to keep screaming at me to not fall asleep on the way back. But yes, I get comfortable when I drive. Hi, Jess. Mrs. I do not know if you have this one anywhere.
I don't know if we do or not.
It may have been on
if we do the live stream with it, it's got to be on the live streams.
Okay, I'm going to flag that. I'm going to flag that to come back to it so we can talk about it again a little bit later. And yeah, y'all always get bags the powder donuts. We got the ones that were like
coconut
crunchy ones.
Crunchy coconut they were called or something.
Golly, it's so addictive. I wanted to keep eating them. Actually, I bought a bag the other day at the daggum place, and I'm supposed to get back to being good. You know how that goes.
You got a bag? And
you were with me.
Oh, that bag. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So
sorry.
All right. I tell you what, give me a key. I'm ready to travel again. Woohoo! All right, folks. Well, I'm going to get started. We got a lot laid up for you here tonight. Think about memories and stuff that you remember in the streams. If you want to share out when we get through this part, when we get to the back, when we start to share some of our favorite things, feel free to share some memories with us and stuff.
And if you want to go ahead and put them in the chat, we'll try to. I'll star them so that we can come back to them. Okay. So
Yeah,
like if you remember, so you
yeah.
can just
I
put it in.
I think we may have to, Jess, a few of them we had, I thought we had made them all private. Maybe a couple of the last ones were, but we had made some of them.
I thought most of them we made public.
Yeah, we'll have to
Well,
check on that. We'll
yeah.
check on that. But if you were there live, you enjoyed them, and actually, is a good reason why we had to keep a couple of them private because of the. Stop it! Damn it! Stop it! Be a man. Come on, stunning. Come on. Don't tell on your sister. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. So we're almost home. We're almost home.
As my mom would say, are you bleeding? Are they bleeding? Then I don't want to hear about it.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I did. Oh, that was hilarious. Yeah,
Mhm.
I did not see that because I was driving, but yeah, we were near the Devil's Tower,
Yep.
and it has another name, other isn't it? Uh, it has another name too, other than just Devil's Tower.
Oh,
Oh,
now
look,
that you said,
yeah, look what Jess says. Only when the car has the polar bear plush.
oh, really? No, that's the only video up. But we'll have to check that out. We will
Yeah,
check that because there's
yeah,
supposed to be
yeah. I thought we made all those private. I mean, public.
public. I thought we did too. We will check. Who knows YouTube and what they're doing? We'll
Uh,
check it. We'll get them. We'll get
but
them.
But if you were there live, folks, hey, you knew it was a fun adventure for us. So let's go ahead and get started today. But like I said, think of your memories, think of stuff like Daisy just threw out there. I did not know that because of course I was driving. I did not. That was so appropriate though for that. Oh my goodness. Hey, as long as it's not banjos, I'm okay with it. I can deal with alien abductions. But anyway, on that note, let's go to day 15 of our 16-day adventure. Let's see if I don't boomer this crap tonight. So, hey, folks.
Yeah, you're the one having to push the buttons, pretty
I
much.
know. It's like, hey, what do you expect? I mean, I gotta perform tonight, but hey, it's really really cool. And tonight, like I said, we got two battlefields, so I'm going to have to be abnormally in cruise control tonight. Well, not cruise control, in speed mode because I can get lost on a battlefield. Well, we got a lot to do and a lot to cover tonight. So guess what? Maybe have to have more history streams down the road with a little bit more time involved. So, hey, first stop was the great Shiloh
Make it
National
full
Military
screen.
Park. Okay, you warned me the whole damn time, and I did it right off the bat. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This is one thing that drives me crazy.
And I said I would listen to you, and I forgot again. So, hey.
Yes. I
It's just crazy. But, folks, this is the battle of in the South, we call it Battle of Pittsburgh Landing, but the Yanks call it Shiloh. So, hey, we go with the winners, what they get. So, hey, this is a battlefield we've actually visited at least 3 or 4 times, I believe, probably 4 times, because I think one of the years we went for like 160th anniversary and a cavalry demonstration. So
yes, that was
yeah,
fun.
that was really, really, really neat when we did that. So, and anytime in the national parks when they do reenactments and things like that, that's really, really what things that you can do. Okay, Mr. Angel, how can we be sure you have not been replaced by alien copies now? Is that an alien probe or a donut in your pocket? You had to guess, so I won't tell.
Don't you have to look in their eye and see if they have a barcode?
Oh, was this the trip with the guy that spat around us? This was the trip around the guy that rode our butt, right?
Yeah,
And spat around us, and because we're lollygagging, looking at all the signs like I like to do, then we ended up passing the guy because he had gotten pulled over by a police officer.
Yeah,
So,
and we did. I kind of laughed and pointed.
but anyway, Battle of Pittsburgh Landing, Shiloh occurred April 6th to 7th, 1862. It's a 2-day battle. The Confederates had massed near Corinth, Mississippi. The Confederates under the Union under Ulysses S. Grant were moving further south through Kentucky down into Tennessee to put further pressure on the rail line at Corinth, Mississippi, as we talked about in the last stream. was a vital rail junction going east, west, north, south with two different railroads that crossed there. As you see here, what's unique with these signs is this: you'll see these signs for each of the armies. U.S. Grant was in control of one army of the U.S. forces, of the Union forces, and Don Carlos Buell was in command of another army, and the Confederates were commanded by Albert Sidney Johnston. But what's interesting with these type of placards is that they show you a lot of the signs and stats and facts of the armies and what happened with the battle. I'll show you in a minute the legends to these, but these rectangles like this represent the armies. As you see, it gives you the army, the commanding general, list the division generals, 6 divisions. Some of these are famous names. If you understand, William T. Sherman, if you're in the South, you definitely know that name. 3rd Division Major General Lew Wallace. Right? Anybody heard of Ben-Hur? If you've heard of Ben-Hur, that is the author of Ben-Hur, folks, Lew Wallace. So, and each of these talks about what had happened, a position, where they started, how the battle progressed for that particular army. In this case, the Army of the Tennessee was not back by the surprise attack of the Confederates back to the ridge along Pittsburgh Landing until reinforcements arrived overnight. And it mentions that Don Carlos Buell arrived from Savannah, Tennessee, and reinforcements came up, and on Monday morning they pushed the Confederates back. We'll see a little bit about that in those areas, but that's under the Army of the Tennessee, which is named after a river. As you'll see, the other Union armies are named after the rivers. Army of the Ohio. In the east, there's the Army of the Potomac. So the Army of Ohio was commanded by Don Carlos Buell. You'll know him from Perryville, which is a battlefield I hope to show at some point down the road, which is really, really cool. These are some very famous names. But like General Nelson, it was Bull Wilson. So, because he's a big, tough, looked like a bull himself. So, it gives the stats about how they came onto the field and then started the attack on Monday morning. And then, of course, it lists the casualties. Now, then we have the Army of the Mississippi, which is the Confederate Army. As you noticed, Albert Sidney Johnston was killed. You'll see if they're wounded or killed here. I'm curious of people in the chat, if the people in their history, does anybody know the name John C. Breckinridge? John C. Breckinridge, yeah.
No.
Of course, we all know Braxton Bragg. I wish Snorta Poopas was here. Braxton Bragg is Mr. Eyebrows. You know that?
Oh.
That's okay. Mr. Eyebrows. But I'm going to double check. But John C. Breckinridge.
I think this is one of the parks that had some of the most detailed information signs.
Yes, it did.
Squeakus says it's a big name here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's see. Vice President. Well, I was going to say with this, he was actually a former Vice President of the United States of America. And I believe he served just before Lincoln took office. He was Vice President from 1857 to 1861. Vice President of the United States of America. So, hey, yes, definitely a big name, and that's one that you will definitely be able to see. Excuses a European. Yes. It's so fun. But, Polk was a Episcopalian minister. Yep, exactly. But yeah, that's what's real famous. You'll see Breckinridge at Stones River and other major battles too. He pops up throughout the war. But that's just an interesting fact that I wanted to share with people because, there's also other politicians that were in the U.S. government that joined the Confederacy that did not want to be captured in some of these battles, as we see at Donelson and others, where they did not want to be really tried for treason. So, yes, and that could be, considering where you're at, it's very possible that, there could be a link with the name right there. So, anything in the South. Mrs., can you do me one favor real quick?
Maybe.
Can you pull up a picture of Braxton Bragg real quick
Okay, let me
while
see.
while I keep moving forward? So,
Yeah, you keep going.
yeah. So basically, what we see, it talks about how the Confederates moved north from Shiloh through the thick. And if you were in this place, you would see how the terrain is and the woods, and really, really get a good feel for the screen and the cover that they did to be undetected, because they really came in and surprised the Union on day one. So back to this too, like the missus said, this place really has some of the best markers that are out there. As I mentioned, the large square tablets are the armies, given the strength and the movements of them, of the corps and divisions. The square tablets that have the ornamental corners mark where troops were engaged on the first day, Sunday, April 6th. The oval tablets are the positions where troops were engaged on the second day of Monday, April 7th, 1862. So as you're going through the battlefields, you'll see some of these intertwined and colors flip, because remember, the Confederates moved forward, then they come back with the yellow and blue coming forward. So it's very interesting to see. And then the camp tablets, these that look like home plate of a baseball field, talks about where the camps were, where the colors, where the actual base camps were. So, but
I'm trying to find. I'm
I don't
trying
know,
to find one that will let me show it.
yeah, okay. So, folks, this is the top of the ridge right here. This is the main area for the drive-through near the National Park Center. This is where Grant's last line was on day one, where they managed to hold off the Confederate advance. As I'll show you a picture in a minute how this is in relation, because this may look from this angle, oh, it's just a bunch of trees there. Well, this really commanded a lower level of ground, and you know had an advantage for artillery positions for defense. But it's right parallel to this, which this marker is Pittsburgh Landing.
Oh,
Yay! So I always wanted to go there. Got pictures with Pittsburgh Landing. This is where it is, and it's just that. In the night of the late night hours of April 6th, morning of April 7th, this is where Don Carlos Buell's army arrived, crossing the river, landing here, coming up through here to reinforce Grant's lines there. So yes, it is very beautiful stand of trees. This is really one of the most beautiful parks we've been to, because of the trees. We see deer in it all the time. It's really, really a very interesting thing that very, very interesting battlefield. If you like the battlefields,
I have
love the rivers. You do?
I have
Okay.
a picture if you want to see it.
I'll pull it up. All right. And this, my friends, is the great Braxton Bragg.
I can't make it any bigger.
Okay. Well, it's okay, but you don't need to make it bigger to see those eyebrows, folks. So it almost looks like a unibrow in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
So that's Braxton.
that's Braxton Bragg, folks. So hey, all right. Well, we'll jump back to the tour here. Just a little divergence right there. But hey, Pittsburgh Landing, folks, which is where a lot of Confederates would call it, because that's there's your marker point, whereas the Union call it Shiloh. So let's see, we'll move through, and like I said, I'm in cruise control tonight. I speed up mode because we would be going all night on this battlefield with all the details. I could talk forever on it, but a few things of trivia as we hit it. This is a spot where I was in the first picture. If you can look to the left, there's the trees that were in front of it. Again, this is the high ridge line leading up from Pittsburgh Landing, which would give a natural defense for the high ground, where you would make your defense there. So yeah, and like Mr. Angel says, a killer position for artillery. Enemy troops are on the gauntlet with carrots fire. Listen, wait till we get around to the river. Yes, remember this when we get to the end, Mr. Angel. Okay, this is like the backstop, but there's more to come with that position. So, as all Civil War monument, battlefields do. You got
Oh,
monuments to all the place.
we
Yes.
have somebody that just dropped in. They,
Oh, it disappeared. Hey, Ash. Oh, good to see you. Yes, it's going well. It's a glorious 3-hour finale with a salute to all nations, but mostly America.
mostly America.
You got a 3.5 minutes. Oh, you got a minute and a half. Sorry, I butchered the line from the silly Muppets ride. But folks, this ever take your time when you go to the battlefields to look at the monuments. It's really, really, really interesting to see. You know, they do commemorate the soldiers, the units that were there, um, and nice to see. Mrs. I did remember I forgot something earlier tonight. I'm going to see if I can multitask when it's your time in a little bit.
Okay. We have another person that joined us.
Jeremy, hey, welcome, Jeremy. Good to see you too tonight.
And Mr. Angel had a comment on the eyebrows.
Okay. Holy sweet. Did he kill his enemies with his eyebrows? Killed by an eyebrow 500 feet hard. Take cover. He's looking.
Yes, those were insane. I guess they didn't really have manscaping back then.
Not that. No, definitely not with that. But no. But actually, some people hated him so bad, thought he was incompetent. Even Nathan Bedford Forrest threatened to kill him once because of he's like, if I ever had to serve with him, I shoot you. And it's like he discharged, he transferred him really quickly. So, but yes, but good to see you too, Ash, tonight. Thanks for being here. But the monuments, we don't have many of the monuments. What I'll do is when I do a specific show on these, I'll spend more time of the monuments because you can. It's just a tribute there and to the units that served and the people and looking back at the memorials. And sometimes it's to the civilians and to others, not just the
sometimes there's so much meaning into them, and some of them are very.
I think this is one of the ones, and I don't have it included tonight, that did have it. You remember that one that's really that had a lot of pieces. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think on those I don't think an industrial combine will work. You need a hedge clipper or something. Yes.
I don't know.
But see, and a lot of angels. You'll see a lot of angels. You'll see a lot of eagles with these monuments. Let's see here. And okay, as we mentioned here, what I thought was with this part, which is new, interesting that I've not seen on a lot of battlefields, is this bottom part here, where they give you a time frame, a timeline of when the particular action that they're detailing occurred. See, here we have a 2-day battle. This is actually showing the relative positions between 2 to 4. And if you like these maps like I do, you can see how they show the troop positions and artillery positions. You see in this case Sherman's counterattacking against the initial Confederate advance until it's stymied, and then the Confederates go back on the offensive, and you can see the blue with the retreat back between 2:30 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's what's so good with this battlefield, with a lot of these great a lot of the graphics and a lot of the placards that they have out here. And so many of these things come down to really you can appreciate it more by seeing it with the locations that are there.
Because you can look up and
you can look up and you can actually see it with these. But if you like maps and all this, if you like maps and stuff like I do, you'd never get out of this place. So again, we have another memorial monument to the Tennessee regiments. So, and sometimes these are not just for the states. A lot of times they're for particular units within a state. So you'll see numerous monuments with the same state. But the open fields, this was really beautiful land. It's very heavy tree. And many times that we talked about in the other Civil War, it's like, well, was it like this then? Was it like that then? And in a lot of cases, the trees were not as prevalent because of grazing and unrestricted cattle and stuff like that. But this area with Shiloh was like this. It was very thick. It was very hard to get around. There were limited roads. So basically the armies had certain paths that they could come because of the thickness of the forest in this case. Maybe in some of these specific areas, maybe there were fewer trees because of felling trees to make a bati or whatever may happen. But really, this is a battlefield that truly was very
Pretty much like it was when we
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah. There was a lot of trees. That was
Mhm.
one of the reasons why the Union was caught off guard. One, it was a morning advance, but also there were not open roads, open plains to
Was
be.
there a lot of like guerrilla type warfare? The height, not
Not in this particular battle per se. I
yeah,
mean, you always have your pickets and your sharpshooters
yeah,
that are kind of like guerrilla warfare if they're hiding out trying to pick off officers or things like that. Yeah,
yeah.
but
Okay.
not really guerrilla per se. Because actually, the way this battle started was in the further south of the field. There was a colonel, um, that Union colonel that did not trust. They were getting intel reports back that the Confederates were advancing, but he was being blown off by higher command. So he sent out a regiment out to scout. They deployed pickets. Pickets are your early warning detection. They're usually not strong. They're undersized. They're basically there to shoot some warning shots and alert everybody that danger's coming. And what he did was when he advanced out, uh, they proceeded to run into several regiments of the Confederate Army in full advance mode. So
Mm.
that's how that started, the early warning signs, but still did not do well and did not give enough warning because the Confederates early on ran through some of the camps with them still in in bed, cooking breakfast and everything else like
Oh,
that. A lot
very
of the stories
interesting.
were a lot of stories is part of the problem you had is you still had untrained volunteer army with this. So what happens? A lot of the Confederate units were underfed, underclothed, undershoed, things like that. So what do? They started raiding and looting the camps instead of staying together, continuing a forced, and advancing.
Right.
They were pillaging some of the camps. The account has that Albert Sidney Johnston, the overall Confederate commander, come up was and really laid into some of the men about getting back and going. Well, he ended up just taking a tin cup. He said, "Well, let this be my share of the loot," you know, because he
Hmm.
realized he had upset some of the troops, but you still don't have discipline. You still have discipline problems, discipline issues. But then again, when you're hungry, when you're ill clothed,
Right. Yeah.
there is that temptation for that. So that was a thing that cost the Confederates precious time, as you'll see on day one, uh, that slowed down the advance. Then
Okay.
we'll move on to another part of the bets. This is one of those that's a day two. It's kind of in and out of the field. This is a complicated battlefield to really follow because remember there are 2 days advance, 2 days of action over the same terrain. In this particular area with where we were in Davis's wheat field, and it also seen action on day one, but this was day two where the Confederates had advanced, but then your yellow is coming back through, which is Don Carlos Buell's, the reinforcement coming in on Sunday morning. And as you see, the Confederates are finally started to be driven back at that point. Because remember, the Confederates were tired. They had marched in the rain, and they were tired, hungry, and these are fresh Union troops coming into the fray the next morning. Actually, the Union was surprised because Grant was going to move towards Corinth earlier, but weather held them up. They were waiting on Buell to arrive, and they were unprepared for the Confederates to attack when they did. Well, the Confederates would have attacked days earlier, but foul weather had messed up the roads and delayed the Confederate attack till April 6th. So you speculate, what if the attack had happened a couple of days earlier when Buell would not have been able there overnight? So those are the things historians love to talk about, and battlefield nuts. Sometimes of the woulda couldas of what happened.
Hmm.
Now, Sam Todd was Mary Lincoln's brother, and it's known that he died and was fatally wounded here. Yeah, and one of the famous casualties of the war. And you see many, many times with stuff of the different things that happened that in the war, it truly is a war of brother versus brother, and you know, a lot of family members. So let's see, and he was actually fought for the Confederacy in
Oh
this one.
wow.
Yeah. And, still, like our friend Star Pupus, I've talked about George H. Thomas. The Rock of Chickamauga was a Southerner that fought for the Union Army. Uh, Squeak out there remembers I said something the other day about John C. Pemberton, who was the commander at Vicksburg, the Confederate commander at Vicksburg. He was actually from up north, So, but truly, it was a war that affected both sides and many
Hmm.
families. So, in this case here, the markers, and I'll have to do this on another stream when we do more with the battlefields. There are different. These monuments mean a lot of things and have a lot of symbolism. One of the things that we saw was like a bunch of cannonballs built up into a pyramid. Well, that's usually, and if it has a star at the top of it, it's a division headquarters or a regimental headquarters. Uh, Sometimes, if it has a certain symbol on it, then it shows where an officer, a regimental commander, was wounded or died. Well, in this case, with the uplifted cannon, this is the marker where it shows where Albert Sidney Johnston was mortally wounded here at this spot. He actually died off back in a ravine. What they said is he bled to death, that a tourniquet could have saved his life, but he had been shot through the leg, and they found out he was finally bleeding. He never knew he was wounded, uh, and just bled to death with that, because of not having feeling in his leg. So, um, a very substantial loss for the Confederates, the highest ranking officer to die in the war. A lot of people speculate what could have happened in the West had he lived, had he survived. So, but again, with the cannon, there's all these different markers that they have that these things, and they're fascinating to look at, and there's a lot with them. Uh, One of the famous landmarks, if you're familiar with the Battle of Shiloh, is the Hornet's Nest. It got its name because of the thickness of the firing and shooting of the rounds, the mini balls and all. It sounded like hornets. All the stinging, zippings, and all. It was so the action was so intense. That's why they described it as that. Yeah, it was actually the main artery, and it was actually behind the kneecap. It got him in the knee. It was one of those. They didn't realize till he realized his heel had been knocked off his boot, and they
That's like
figured
amazing,
it.
like the adrenaline, you
Yeah,
know, that,
exactly.
yeah.
So, but here's, like I said, here's the Hornet's Nest. This is one of the famous Hornet's Nests. They've had Hornet's Nest at certain other battlefields, just like the cornfields, but this particular one was really, really important because Major General Benjamin Prentiss actually delayed the Confederate advance for hours while he was being surrounded, while the other troops, Sherman and others, were retreating back to form a new defensive line. Prentiss held off here in the Union Center, and instead of bypassing it, they focused on him, and then they finally had to surrender when they ran out of ammunition. Uh, Really, one of the key elements on day one, another factor in slowing the Confederate advance. More time, versus driving the Union from the field, as we'll see later in the day. Again, here's some thickness of this, and again, if this is one of the battlefields that's a lot like it was back then because it's an undeveloped area. These woods were this thick back then. The reports were, and the accounts, the armies had trouble moving through this stuff. There were a few designed roads that it could actually travel on, and as I said, the rain had made stuff a little more complicated leading up into the days before the battle. And here, this is another area. This is a peach orchard, though. It doesn't look like it. This is from May. We've been in there early April when the battle occurred too, but this is a peach orchard. These are peach trees, and the back to over in this spot where the cursor is where the Johnston Memorial is, and the ravine where he ended up dying back in that area.
Mm.
But as you see, the peach orchards are here. One of the all-tell stories of this was that, and if you watch the Civil War, Ken Burns, the dramatic music plays and how so many bodies died under the blooms of the trees and stuff like that. And it's you'll always learn with history that sometimes things can take on a life of their own, and stories get embellished, or just romanticized, I would think is a good word to call it.
Yes.
Because we actually went one year when we had the disgruntled ranger that didn't get a full-time job, that was just like, he was being honest, but you know what, he wasn't wrong necessarily, because this is twice that we've been there between April and May. We didn't see peach blooms the way they're described in the accounts. And
Yeah.
one
They didn't see anything. They weren't even like thinking
yeah,
of women.
yeah, in April they were not blooming when we were up there.
Right.
So you sort of to go to things and hey, that type of stuff, and it's really that's why you go to these sites, to see what it is for yourself, especially if you can go around those times of year. Hell, I would like to go to Donaldson up in Tennessee in February for some snow and see how it was cold up there,
Right.
missus.
Right.
That would be kind of cool. And thank you to the 113 people we have in the chat tonight. We
And then
appreciate
say,
you there.
please hit the like button.
Yeah, after last night, I'm not going to question anything. Thank y'all for being here, and hit the like button, and thank you for being here. And all you guys, thank y'all for being here that have been in here with us since the beginning. Okay, well, Pete's Orchard, another view of the Pete's Orchard down to the house here. There's a different walkway, another sunken road. You'll see sunken roads on almost all Civil War battlefields at some point. I really could talk about this battlefield forever, but we like I said, we do have an agenda tonight, and this is one of the most famous of all the landmarks is Bloody Pond. Having got its name from another romanticized tale, the story goes that so many were dead, and when we get to the end, you're going to see how bloody this battle was. And this is in 1862. This is not even about a year into the war, and there were many more battles with even more casualties to come for another 3 years. But the talk was that so many people, they went to the water as you're wounded to die, or just get water and drink out of whatever water source. But that so many had died here that the water turned red from the blood that was in the water.
Yeah.
So again,
And
again, it depends on how many bodies are in there and scientifically how all that would work.
yeah.
But
Exactly.
and I see
Yeah.
AFK Bard. Hey AFK.
And she's
Good
and
to
she's
see you.
and there's laughter because it's like I said, it's like a bloody pond.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
I have
And
to say it in the accent which I think it was written in.
yeah. If not, we can get Daisy to say it in the right
Yes.
accent. So,
Yes.
hey, Mark D with a
Damn it,
C.
Mark!
Damn it,
Damn it!
Mark. Where's
Damn it!
JT? Damn it, Mark. Hey, but I tell you what, we might mention that again before we're done. But hey, no, no. Oh, it's okay, FK. It's all good. It's good. It just like telling you guys the story of how this stuff had happened and all, and it's. But it does think you do think of it as a British saying,
Yes.
bloody pond, but
Bloody pond.
it does have a history. It does have a thing. That was another one that the guy was like, did it really do that?
Yeah.
But
I
but hey,
believe there was embellishment. I think that an embellishment I don't necessarily think is I just think as it goes on, the stories get shared and they get, someone adds a little something else to it. Like
yeah,
when you do the game, the telephone line, and you have
hmm,
one person, you tell them something, and then they whisper it down the line,
yeah,
and
oh
by
yeah,
the end of it, I think that's kind of what happens
yeah.
with these. They get, and then it becomes talked about so much that it becomes
Hmm.
fact, whether it is or not.
Well, it's romanticized too. I think a lot
Yeah.
of it's a product of the time. I mean, I think there was the age of romanticism. I think
Hmm.
between the
Yeah.
1850s and the 1900s, and yeah, it's just and then of course there's also the cynics that say, well, a lot of it's to sell real estate and property and souvenirs and other stuff to make money off of stuff. The more you can get something, the more you can get.
And you can't discount that either. There's always people that want to profit
Mhm.
from everything. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
bloody pond.
Folks, don't forget to vote in our poll also. So if you can, so So the 131, we got 16 votes. So make sure y'all vote too today. Yeah, bad telephone game. Exactly.
Yes.
And Rocco the Brave, good to see you, sir.
Hello, hello.
No mall tonight. No mall tonight. But I will tell you, if you want a 48-hour stream, Ash will be the guy to come on with for a mall
A mauling.
a mauling. Yeah. No.
A,
Yeah.
a mall sighting. Try saying that.
So you
No.
remember the first time we went to this place, to this park, we ended up seeing deer in this area.
Yes, there
So
were a
it was
lot of deer.
yes. Now, Mr. Angel, to yeah. See, I believe the story waters have run with blood before. Blood is very sticky. The waters of D-Day beaches turn red. Yes, and I've seen that too. There's just some account with this. There's been some uh, with the way this is set. It's you kind of wonder, but it's always a matter of conjecture of what had happened and all, because a lot of the like the peach blossom was one that's been disputed and other things like that. But absolutely, you know, if you have enough blood, it will turn red. So, and actually D-Day, oh, that, talk about a very tough battle right there. So, and Mr. Angel, to your point earlier, folks, Mr. Angel, this here was a visitor center where we took that first picture. It was right out here by Herbert, right near the visitor center. That the ridge for the defense. You could see why it was a good line to match your artillery, and you can see where we were at Pittsburgh Landing down here, where the Buell's men are unloading from the ships on the river in this area too. This area that came over here on the right, the Union left flank, again Breckenridge. They tried to assault this right side. But I'm going to show you the terrain in this area. There are some Indian burial mounds here also that are a protected national site too. But this is a very hilly, raviney, very steep ravines in this area. So trying to get through this area would be hard enough already without having to face artillery. But look at the location of the river too. The gunboats Lexington and Tyler had come up to offer bombardment support. To assist in the Union defense, which actually tore into the Confederate advance lines, forcing them back also. And even during the night, the gunboats continued to shell the Confederate positions overnight. So the USS Lexington is off Corpus Christi. You been on that boat? Whoa. Like the Civil War Lexington? Wow.
That's cool.
I think we're going to have to do a Texas trip.
Okie dokie, we can do that. We'll go see
Right. That is
Yeah.
awesome. We've seen the USS Cairo up at Vicksburg, but it's dried and it's being remodeled right now. It was never I think it was sunk, and then they raised it, and it's currently under renovation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry, that's the wrong one I picked. Free field of fire, very well chosen pick. Yeah, it is a high ground, and if like I said, you're having to come up through the trees, and and now you got additional. But there's so many Lexingtons. That's the thing. Is there's so many. But hey, it's all good. I'm a sucker for ships. The miss is lucky I didn't stop on I-10 and run off to the Alabama on the way over. So
yes.
So here we go. We're getting to the end of the first day here. Over on the side, you can see what happened. This is the terrain in the ravines. And this is going down into it, and there's another side coming up with it. I could not get better pictures from it. So, and again, you can see, and that's the position we were there. The photo was right in this area here at Dill Branch, and you can see how they gave up and they pulled back a bit at the end of the first day. Oh, then here again at 6 p.m. to overnight, Brigadier General Patrick Claiborne, who was a very popular general in the West for the Confederates, talked about how they kept shooting. The gunboats kept shooting through the Confederate camp overnight. Again, at 6 p.m. to midnight or to overnight, I love this graphics here with what they do and what they show you here with this. So again, a marker to commemorate the gunboats Tyler and Lexington, and it talks about their operations here into shelling the Confederates Sunday evening. In the supposed camps of the enemy every half hour during the night. So actually, sometimes the artillery and some actions were so regular that they could set a clock to it. So, and again, this is the view of the Tennessee River here. And you can see with where they could position in here. Folks, this is one of my favorite. Donaldson, if you've seen what I've used before, and this, I just love water with these Civil War battlefields. Remember, this is the brown water navy because of the brownish color of the inner rivers. The brown water navy was a key component of the Anaconda plan to strangle the Confederacy. But God, I just love these waters. I could just be happy. Just give me a chair and let me just sit here forever. But this river does flood. The Tennessee does flood. This road has actually been inundated with water before, and they've had to close it many times. So Buddy Hepburn says the USS Constellation is in Baltimore Harbor. And Lawrence Casados, I hope I say that right. Good to see you again tonight. Love these sites. Ultimate General's Gettysburg Civil War Tactic game. It's quite fun. I had an old game, Civil War General and Civil War General 2 that I loved, but unfortunately, Microsoft keeps telling me I have to have new operating systems. Yeah. God, I hated losing that game because of that. But, well, welcome, sir, again. And yes, those are some wonderful games. But, God, I love this river. This and Donaldson are my favorite. Yes.
Mr. Angel, he had commented about I believe they're the areas when you were talking about the ravines.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. He said another one he said was that it was a free field of fire and a very well chosen position. They use, as we say, strategery.
Well, it's even more made better because you were able to bring up gunboat support off to the flank. You know, that I mean, I tell you what. Let me do this real quick. Because see, with the gunboats here, not only the Confederates would be charging straight into that well-positioned artillery, the gunboats can hit the flank, which would be even more dangerous fire, because then you're firing across the ranks and you could do a lot more damage to the advancing troops. So, and which is one of the reasons the Confederates had to fall back because they were really exposed on the flank. So, but yes, absolutely. All right. So here's another view of Pittsburgh Landing from up where we were by the Tennessee River. God, I love that river. I haven't said that enough, but there's Pittsburgh Landing right there. And we're up on that ridge. We're coming around the ridge of the initial view that we had. There is a national cemetery here, though, too. So, but to look at this battle, though, it was the bloodiest battle at the time, and at this point, really, battlefield care was non-existent. It was really the early days of the war. So many were unknown casualties buried in mass graves. There were at least 3 Confederate cemeteries there of just Confederate dead buried in mass. So, this case was in a
that was very grave. That. I know that there were battles here, and there was death. That bothered me so much, knowing that their family didn't know. I mean, they did not. They never saw them again. I mean, they were just buried there. They couldn't go and to their grave or anything. They just didn't know, and this part bothered me more than I think almost anything else. It's just that families at home will can't even go anywhere to say goodbye. You know what I'm saying? There was
yes, I know. And see, like here from a Corporal Wilbur Crummer from Illinois, it said, when the grave was ready, we placed the bodies therein 2 deep. The father, brother, husband, and lover all till I, till Gabriel's trumpet shall sound. All the
Mhm.
monument reared to those brave men was a board nailed to a tree at the head of the trench, upon which I cut with my pocket knife the words 125 rebels. I mean,
Yeah.
you had to, I mean, you did not have, you
I
know,
understand
yeah,
that.
there were
It just breaks my
different
heart.
conditions and stuff.
It
Yeah.
just breaks my heart. It's,
Hmm.
knowing that, you know,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And
what
remember,
was there.
this is, this is a, for, one of many, many battles to come. And
Yeah.
so, and if you look at this total here, there was, roughly, let's see, I like where with these graphics that I like to, they give you a good accurate count, because troops engaged is roughly around 110,000, roughly a little over 110,000 troops were engaged. Killed were about 3,500, and about almost 17,000 wounded, and about 4,000 missing. So overall, it's about 23,000 casualties. Because in the battles, they consider killed, wounded, and missing all casualties.
Mhm.
Uh, so this is like 20 something thousand. And this
Mhm.
is one of the earliest big battles in the war. And you
Mhm.
had 3 more years of this to go.
Yeah.
And it just was it was bloody, bloody
Mhm.
as anything. So, and another view of it. So here, as you can see here, the it puts some reality into it. So, I mean, a lot of times you may say, well, it might, and I hate to say it like this, but it does happen that way. Sometimes when you get caught up in numbers, well, it's only 3,500. Well, each one's a special creation of God. Each one's a soul, it's a person that's no longer the family left behind. But from the tactical side, there's 3 more years of a war going on. Just a sheer number of casualties. It's just staggering. So then that's Shiloh. And actually, Shiloh is a Hebrew name, Prince of Peace. I believe it's a place of peace. And this is the original Shiloh church, which is why it got its name from the Union side, was destroyed in the fighting. But, and I'm going to read the marker to it here. Basically, um, let's see. Although the original log church at Shiloh was destroyed during the battle, the log church before you is a near exact replica of the original church. Much detail went into the building this church using hand-hewn logs approximately 150 years old that came from this area. This log church replica was started in 1999 under the direction of Shiloh Sons of Confederate Veterans Camp and Shiloh Methodist Church. So then it talks about the various support and stuff that they had uh, to do it. But basically, the Shiloh Log Church was built in 1851, place of peace, for the biblical term. Uh, it gave name to the famous Battle of Shiloh and became the site of some of the fiercest fighting seen in the Civil War. Let's see, and like I said, yeah, the rest is history with that. It was destroyed in battle also. So that is Shiloh, I believe, with that. And let me see. I got a little video clip of the inside. I'm trying to. Okay. Sorry for the bad camera work. I really apologize, because
We're working on that.
yes, but I want to show this. Sorry for the
Yeah.
dizziness, but just try to show you a little bit of how this was, because remember, they said it's a near exact replica. So they really try to be very, very detail oriented, even with. I'm trying to. I'm sorry for the blur. I thought I had it where it was at least a little bit better.
You can use the little thing in the middle and move it around.
This thing here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You want to find a specific kind of a.
yeah. Well, I guess I was wanting to find. Let's see where we are here. Uh, Sorry, folks. I just want to show a little bit. I can't get the right spot.
I'll just hit play.
There. That's what I want to show. I'm going to
Uh,
show you all the log benches.
mm,
Okay. Here
yeah.
you got the log bench, or the benches that they had here. It's really rustic, very just old, and of course they recreated a pulpit right in the middle there. So, All right. That's Shiloh Church, and I believe that is day one,
Yep.
day 15. Yay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mr. Angel, that's what happened last night. Yes, that's what happened last night. So, for the 116 people watching us right now, please go ahead and hit that like button, sub if you
And
haven't, and,
and
and vote in our poll.
yes, please vote in the poll. We've got 82 likes.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Uh, the
Awesome.
last I looked. So
Yes,
uh,
exactly.
we appreciate you all. Um,
Mr. Angel was not here for what we said last night. Mr. Angel, at least it's the YouTube counter, not your bank account. We actually had that experience a few months ago when the transition at a bank.
yes,
That was scary.
yes, it did look like the Dow.
Yeah, exactly.
Up and down, up and down.
So, Mrs., do you have any other thoughts with Shiloh before I advance
Like
on
I
or
say,
talk to?
I think it's one of the best. Um, well, I can't say that because we've been to some that were smaller that have wonderful documentation and stuff and signage. It's very um this one is kind of emotional. I think because they actually have three known mass graves there that and there could be more. They don't know. I think that's one thing they said. Um
Mm-hmm.
and just the fact that those are, you know, it's like as emotional as I get like when the tomb of the unknown soldier. Um that's somebody who their family, there's no closure. You know they're gone, but you just don't have that closure, and it's just so emotional to me. And I think that's the biggest thing. Shiloh was a very emotional part for me to go through.
No.
They all pull at my heart and
Yeah.
when I go, because the death and just the horrors that war is, but just that just made it just even more so for me, you know, that but yeah, sometimes it's hard for me to go to
Yeah. Well,
the
we've got
battlefield.
another one that was hard too coming up.
Yes.
So, um,
Oh, we got Masters Maniac Mexico here.
hello, Masters. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. All right. Welcome. Yes. Hey, better late than never. So, yeah, Mister, we could use a million jump in a bank account as long as
Uh,
I agree. As long as it's going up, that's the main thing.
yes, yes.
Never good when it goes
It can
down.
go down a few dollars, but
Yeah,
not a lot. Yeah,
that day was
yeah.
all over the place. But
Oh,
hey, let's see. So, all right, Pelham, Alabama. We
stayed at a
this is
hotel.
yeah, because this was our last night out, and we ate at Hooters. Woohoo!
Yes, we did. It was good.
Man,
And
I got to brag on you though first. You know, you're a guy's woman. I will say that really because not only you go to Hooters, you had a hell of a line. I'll let you say to everybody, but on our honeymoon, you went to Hooters.
yeah, they got good food. I enjoy them. I enjoy
Exactly.
Hooters. I
So,
enjoy the restaurant Hooters.
and we had wings that were great, and
Yeah,
the cheese bacon tater tots were awesome.
yes,
And hello,
yes.
MCU. Good to see you. Love
Hello,
Hooters. Yes,
hello. Well,
good to
I
see
will
you.
say that when we went into Hooters, I was the only female there that was not wait staff. Everyone else at the tables were guys, and
Yep.
it just, um, I just thought it was funny. But I enjoyed my meal. It was really good.
Yes, it was awesome. So,
Yes.
but hey, thank you everybody that's here. So we appreciate y'all being here, and whether it's we're going to assume it's 115. So make sure y'all hit the polls. Currently, before I move on, this is kind of a surprising poll, and it's close. Can you believe it? Small attractions leads with 31%.
Oh,
So
now
I
for
would like
those,
to see if y'all can specify what you call as small attractions. I'd be curious to see. But small attractions is leading at 31. Live drive streams is right behind at 28%. Food and nature wildlife are tied at 21%. This is amazing, I will tell you, to see this. And like Mark said, why is food not winning? Hey, I'm Masters, I'm sorry about the black plug in Yellowstone. I just I'll have to find some way to. I keep forgetting it because of the MIB. So,
Yes, yes.
oh, look at this. He doesn't believe me. He's like, yeah, I went for the wing.
Yeah. He really does. We really do like the food.
Oh, all
Oh
right, all
goodness.
right. So, okay, yeah, exactly. I think Mark, people got had a lot with your clams, but hey, but anyway, I got something with that later. But all right, Mrs. We remember? Yeah, I think. Did you say? Yeah, you said what you said. So, okay,
Yep.
are we ready to go ahead and move on? Oh my gosh,
Yes,
we're at
we
9/11.
are.
Yeah, I see. I got to pick up my pace. Sorry. 16-day adventure, day 16. This is the trip home for you
Yes,
Trek fans. The
yes,
voyage home.
yes. And there is no pictures in between
Yep,
events because number one, it just was ugly. It
yep,
just was not a pretty ride. There was, and I was just plumb tired of taking pictures out the window. And I was
yeah,
enjoying the drive. I call them the drive streams. I was really enjoying them.
yep. So, all right. Well, let's see right here. So we'll move on. And the falling star.
Yes.
Now, do you
Now,
want? I'll
yes, we're
be
going to
quiet.
show a video. It was a short we actually did. So if I hope you can hear it, I am playing it on the right thing. So if you can't hear it, let me know. Hi, this is Mrs. Dadman walking 55, and I am in Sylacauga, Alabama, which is known for two things: quarries of pristine white marble and the first known person to be hit by a meteorite. Dan Lawyer learned about this event and sculpted this sculpture in honor of that. In 1954, Ann Hodges was taking a nap on her couch when a meteorite fell through a roof and hit her on the hip. She donated that meteorite to the University of Alabama, and it now can be seen in the Museum of Natural History. I'm Mrs. Dad.
All right.
Yep.
So hey, that was
I
that was that
I
was
was
another
so
one because of road trippers, right?
was yes, that was a road trippers, but I wanted to do the short because I can never ever say the name of that town again. I drove Jadman crazy
Yeah, that was
practicing how to say the name.
like 18 takes on that one. It was like,
Oh, it's a hard name to say. Yes.
but when we were driving all the way home that day, it's like, okay, we got to get on the road at some point. So,
Yes.
but hey, all right. But that was an easy one. That was a plan with the good old road
Yeah, the
trippers.
road trippers. Um,
But
yeah,
now we got one of our surprise stops because we were
yes.
doing a live stream at the moment. I know Stunning was there. Not quite sure who else was with us in the chat uh, at that moment, but we I'm not sure. Mr. Angel, I think Squeaker might have been there that morning, but I can't remember who else was with us. I know
Right.
Stunning was there, um, but we were driving down the road and we saw Horseshoe Bend, a brown sign and an arrow. We're like, what the heck? So like a typical Dadman fashion, we decided to take a detour. We
Oh
weren't
yeah.
sure at first because it took a while to get to this place. We weren't sure where we were going in the middle of nowhere, but we ended up finding Horseshoe Bend National Military Park.
Right.
Now you
And
will
wait, before we get into that, B
be
from
from
O
O.
is here and thought we could just say hello real quick to
Hey
him.
B, I think we're up in your neck of the woods. You may know where this one is in Alabama, Horseshoe Bend. So, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I got to read what Jess says before this. I've seen a thing about a group of grandmas going to Hooters because it's good food and the waitresses treat them really great since they don't have to deal with a-hole guys.
I could see that. I could get a group of women to go there.
Exactly. You know, I mean, hey, JT Kirk.
Yay.
JT Kirk. Damn it, Mark.
Damn it, Mark.
You know, Mark comes in and talks about clam pizza's first tweet, first message, JT. Ah, but yeah, I tell you what, hey, but good to see you, my friend. JT was part of the madness here last night. JT and
Yes.
Lisa were here with us and with the, well hey, there you go, JT. There you go.
But I'll read this one. I'll read that one. Damn it, Mark.
All right, we love that.
Now we can go into our surprise stuff.
All right. Well, I need to get that out because we're coming to probably one of the hardest parts of this when you look back at the history of this.
Yes, this was.
If you're familiar with Andrew Jackson's, not just before he was president, he was very controversial, even as a populist president, but even as a war general, he was looked at as a hero of the war of 1812, things like that against the British. But there's also a lot of, the Indian wars, the Indian removals and stuff like that had happened in history. This is a nice surprise for us in terms of tourists to see it, but there was a lot of,
It was
tragedy with this battlefield. It's and that's what good. While we have these things to look at them to memorialize them, so that we can remember the past. It's a beautiful place in Alabama. So let me flag that. I'm going to come back to Mr. Angel in a little bit. Okay. So with this one, we got it. Like I said, it was a surprise. We never. Oh, B from O is familiar. Worked up in that area. All right. Good to know that, B. Shoot, we got to do another Alabama trip, I think, one day. So like I said, we just did this by spur of the moment, went, and then we're like, holy crap, what, and then we went there, we found it. And by this time, the belt is really chirping big time. Okay. Yeah. So, there's markers through here. On March 27th, 1814, Andrew Jackson, commanding U.S. forces and friendly Indians, broke the power of the Creek Confederacy. What was you had a group of traditional.
I wish that they said, instead of friendly Indians, they said allied Indians or something. I just
1951, just 1951.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that some of the wording. Yeah.
So basically, what had happened, I'm going to try to summarize this really quick, because you had the allied or the friendly Indian tribes with the U.S. government. And you had others that were fighting traditional to keep their way of life, that opposed, the changes and really wanted to keep their freedom. In this case, that there had violence in the areas with this. So on the night of March 26, 1814, Major General Jackson and a contingent of 3,300 regulars, militiamen, Cherokees, and Lower Creek camped 6 miles north of Horseshoe Bend. So the Red Sticks, under the direction of Chief Minowa, had fortified their village. We'll see that with a barricade that we'll see called Tehopeka, located on the peninsula created by the Bend. Is a dawning log and mud breastwork at the neck of the peninsula, which made a frontal assault virtually impossible. Even Jackson commented later that it is impossible to conceive a situation more eligible for defense than the one they had chosen. The skill they manifested in their breastwork was really astonishing. So let's see. The next morning they broke, and this is where the breastwork was here, the barricade. All through this area, it's still marked by this line of markers right here. This is some with the open field that was there. Then the sign talked about the breastwork itself, and it talked about the Red Sticks, a militant branch of Creek Society, built the barricade. So then basically 1,000 warriors fought the army there. A third of the warriors carried muskets, and the others used bows, arrows, knives, tomahawks, and war clubs. So basically, it was a two-pronged assault, because you had this frontal assault again with the barricades here. But remember, it's a Horseshoe Bend. Here's the water in the back of it. Whereas some of the other allied tribes and part of Jackson's regular force came around the side, around the back, and took the village from behind. In a two-pronged offense. So here we go. And then this is the shape of the Horseshoe Bend. Obviously, you can now see why it's called Horseshoe Bend. You can see where the barricade was run at the neck there, which is very, very great defensive position from a frontal assault. This is where we were looking out at it earlier. this, Mrs., would you like to talk about this, because this is a relieved map of the
Yeah,
area?
this was inside the visitor center, and I was talking to the ranger there, and she was just so excited to share this with me, and I think it's just fascinating. They had this made special, and it's raised so that they can make the park accessible to everyone, and that people that have visual impairments can actually feel the map and feel the topography and feel the river and get an idea of what uh, the area was like. And I just think that that is so neat because so much stuff it's not accessible for them to physically do. They can someone can share it with them, but to actually be able to feel and see the with your hands what the horseshoe river looked like and stuff. I just thought that was just really fascinating that they actually had a map like that there.
Exactly. So it was uh obviously, you know what happens. Here's an overview of the area here. That this is the area where the village was, and down in here with the cleared area.
Hmm.
Uh, Very beautiful. You can see obviously there. Now this is I'm going to stop and let the missus talk about. This was a tapestry that was in the visitor center.
Right. This was actually um,
Hi,
it's
Lisa.
called. Hello, Lisa. It's actually called a perpetual blessing blanket. And a delegation from the Muskogee Creek Nation, and I'm probably saying that incorrectly. I think it's Muskogee. So I apologize. Muskogee Creek Nation. They presented this blanket based on traditional creek designs to the park on the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. The tribe asked the park to display the blanket, quote, so that the people know that the great Muskogee Creek Nation is still alive and well, and that we support the efforts of this place, and that we look forward to continued collaboration with the National Park Service. Muskogee representatives described the blanket's perpetual blessing design as evoking elements of the Creek creation story. And this is a quote. In a time after our ancestors emerged from the earth, a dense fog covered the land. The people cried out to the one above, longing for an everlasting view of creation. Hearing their prayers, the one above granted them mercy. He sent a wind that blew from the east, dismissing the fog, blessing the people with a perpetual view of the beauty that is creation. And that's the blanket that they presented. And their museum exhibit inside. It just was. It was amazing. This was a very small. This is a very small park. It commemorates a one-day battle, um, and it was done so beautifully and so respectfully that I just think it was amazing. And like
Mm-hmm.
we sometimes look at them and we go, um, "Oh, it's just a one-day battle," you know, and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of fluff it off. But like once again, these things just they really get to me. This affected the the Muskogee Nation, the Creek Nation. It affected them tremendously. I mean, they were in the battle. Women died, children died, men
Yeah.
died. That it was horrific. And
Well.
then later, after all the Allied Indians that helped uh, Jackson, they all went into the relocation thing.
Yeah.
So it was just like sucky all around, honestly.
Yeah.
And um, I'm so grateful that we don't hide
Mm-hmm. Well,
even you know
I'm
the not so great stuff.
I'm gonna expand on that just a little bit. Let me say hello also to Miss Martin Muses.
Hello,
Welcome in.
hello.
Good to see you too. Um, because basically what had happened with this was that the river diversion caused what it did, and so when they came over, and not only Jackson was here, but even a younger Sam Houston was at this battle fighting for the U.S. Another historical figure from Texas, but basically it became a rout. 800 of the 1,000 warriors were killed. The chief Manawa was actually wounded 7 times, but escaped after playing dead until nightfall. But it was basically it was a bloodbath, and it was basically a bayonet charge, and and it just really sad when you see about what they did at the time to even women and children, and just
Mm-hmm.
many were killed swimming across the river. But it's history, and it's good that we remember so we avoid that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But the practical effect, like you said, we think of it as a 1-day battle, but following the defeat here at Horseshoe Bend, the remaining warriors signed the Treaty of Fort Jackson. It ended the hostilities and forced the Upper Creeks to cede over 20 million acres to the United States government, virtually half of what is today Alabama. Over the next 15 years, Alabama's population exploded, growing from a sparsely populated wilderness with under 10,000 inhabitants in 1810 to one of the South's most vital economic engines by 1830, with a population of over 300,000. The Creek would never be able to regain their tribal autonomy, and in 1830, with the signing of the, quote, Indian Removal Act, end quote, by President Andrew Jackson, the remaining Creeks were forced onto reservations in Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears. So this was one of the, I am so glad we got to see it, and it is a good detour that we took,
Mm-hmm.
because we learned something we did not know about,
Mm-hmm.
and the
That's so true.
seriousness of the history was there. That's the thing with history; it's not always pretty, it's not always glorious, and what you see in movies and stuff, and it's real life, and but then again, things happen. They made peace, and like with this tapestry, this was really an amazing area with a tribute really to the Creek, and a lot of their culture that was in there. Many of the things in it that we don't have time to show in this tonight. I think it's just a coincidence with the University of Alabama's coincidence with the colors on that. So, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And Mark, I'm glad you're feeling better. So, all right. So, absolutely. And I'm glad to see y'all in. Miss Mark, Muses, and Lisa, absolutely good to see y'all coming in tonight. All right. So, this was, let me see. All right. So, I continued the parade from here. We left there. And I'm going to go back a little bit because that was a little heavy stuff right there. Okay, Mrs. I want to go
Mm-hmm.
back because we're back on the road and Stunning's whining again. So how about that?
Children, if I have to turn
Lisa's,
around,
but look, it's just like,
open the window. If just are you
gosh,
guys bleeding? Does
no,
anyone need to go to the doctor? If you
no.
don't, deal with it yourselves. I am tired of hearing it.
Yep, we're almost home, dadgummit. Damn
Yes,
it, Mark.
yes.
Yes, B from O, absolutely. So it's very, very JT, now come on. Now you triple down on it. So yeah,
That is not my fault. You are old enough to get. I told you to
exactly.
make sure you had enough batteries and you had
Mm-hmm.
your snacks and all of that. And if you guys aren't prepared, it is not my job.
Yes.
I am sorry.
Well, we ended up having another surprise stop because we were on a search for national park stamps, and we hit the Jimmy Carter National Historic
Yes,
Site.
we went. Wait, this is Plains, Georgia. This is Jimmy Carter Town. Let's see if we can go find something, and we did.
Yes, they are the worst. Stop it. But yeah, we went there really. We didn't have time to look at it because it was right about 4.
Well, they had
Dad
different.
gummit, Mr. Angel, do it out the window. Jeez. Jeez.
Oh, I'm getting a headache. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Oh,
anyway, we hit this one up for a few minutes, just running through to get a stamp, and actually,
this is the school. This is
didn't
the
you
school that he went to. This is
didn't you
not.
find didn't you find one of your Lego things there or
I
not?
think I got a couple, but I
Yeah.
know one of them I got there for sure was the White House.
Ah, yes, exactly. That was very,
So
very good. So,
yes,
all right, I think that's about it. It's pretty much we saw it. It was the school. I don't think I did. I don't remember much more than the school position.
they had other other places, but we did not go to them.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have time because we didn't get to Andersonville before they closed.
Yes, we tried,
We
and
tried, but we did get a few pictures of it. Again, and that's the thing. This last day was really a lot of heavy history because also Andersonville, if you do not know, um,
hmm
is, is was the infamous prisoner of war camp that run
yeah.
by the Confederate forces in the American Civil War. Um, of course, here's after it closed. We actually got in for a few minutes, but then you know they duly close at 5 o'clock.
No, no. Well, the grounds close at 5. The visitor center closes at 4.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
There
you know
probably
what?
was a space you
You know,
could have.
you know
Probably.
what? You know what? I I want to. Can I take a detour real quick for just a second? I
Okay.
know we got stuff, but hey, goober peas. What are goober peas, Mrs.?
Are they peanuts?
Yeah, yeah. Because I tell you what, there was a song back in the Civil War about goober peas.
Yeah.
Do you remember that song?
No, but I know there was, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, it's let's see. Let's see. It's a traditional folk song originating in southern U.S., popular with Confederate soldiers during the American Civil War, still sung frequently in the South to this day. Burl Ives has recorded it. Tennessee Ernie
Sing.
Ford.
Do you have the lyrics?
I'm trying to find the lyrics. Yes, I used to know it. So let's see. Sitting by the roadside on a summer's day, chatting with my messmates, passing time away, lying in the shadows underneath the trees. Goodness, how delicious eating goober peas. Peas, peas, peas,
Yeah.
peas, eating goober peas. Goodness, how delicious eating goober peas. That's
Yep.
the chorus.
Yep.
So, and it's when a horseman passes, that's obviously the thing. So I just thought about that. Yes, Miss Martin Muses. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I can hear Miss Martin Muses singing that right now. But yes, and actually we can't play it, of course, because the benevolent overlords want to like
Yeah.
do whatever they do. But hey, exactly. Yes, J.T. Kirk, Southern name for peanuts, especially around Civil War. If you read the lyrics to in verse 2, when a horseman passes, the soldiers have a rule to cry out their loudest, Mister, here's your mule. But another custom enchanting than these is wearing out your grinders, eating goober peas, and that's the chorus again. So they're talking about the
hmm
cavalry right there. Of course, they got the Yanks and the uh, and apparently one of the courses here has something about they're sat in the 15th Alabama. So
Hmm. Very interesting.
listen to the fourth verse. I think my song has lasted almost long enough. The subject's interesting, but the rhymes are get mighty tough. I wish the war was over, so free from rags and fleas, we'd kiss our wives and sweethearts and gobble goober peas. Peas, peas,
Peace,
peas,
peace,
peas.
peace.
Goodness, how delicious. Oh, gosh. Yeah, Miss, she's got me singing it now. Dang it.
Oh, it's gonna be in your
All right.
head. You got to give it to somebody else.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, all righty. So we got 119 great people watching us right now.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And we appreciate you being here. And make sure you voted in our poll. I'll look
No,
at
we
that
have
in a second.
32 votes
Yeah.
so far in the
Yeah,
poll.
I know. Well, I'm going to get through a little more somberness right here. Really, I'll have to do
Mm.
more specific on it, really, to do this justice, because we really didn't have time to stop. I could only grab a few pictures of Andersonville. If you know anything about it, it was actually the commandant of the camp was executed, was hung, basically for war crimes. After because of everything. So I'm going to see, that's, of course he was like, I'm just following orders, but that doesn't. So, so out of 45,000 Union imprisoned here, nearly 13,000 died. At its
hmm
most crowded, it held more than 32,000 men. As you're going to see, we're going to show the outer perimeters of it. That's all that we can show really that's left now. And yeah, we're kind of curious how that's happening. Same thing happened last night. It was like 200 and something. But well, but what we're going to show you here is a little bit of the outskirts. You'll see the parameters of the place, and you'll just have to imagine the lines. Again, this will be one that I have to do as a separate uh, show to really do it justice. Like here's like a like example what the guard walls would have been, or the guard tower, open field. And remember, this is Southwest Georgia sun, heat, humidity, everything. And imagine that in 1861 to 5. I do not recall. We didn't, like I said, did not have time to really get through here this much. A lot of the sanitation, these areas that look like little ravine, little ditches too, with the overgrowth, a lot of that was basically the toilet back then. And look how it all runs downhill. So it was also and this one of the problems with this camp was that the urinals and the fresh water supplies ran together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, there's more open, and that's more of the. And like I said, we just didn't have time, and you can see where the stockades were, and imagine 30 something thousand men in here at one time, and another angle there too. So again, it's one we'll have to do in another stream with more time to show you those. So, but hey,
Yeah,
thank
it
you
was
everybody who's been here.
well, the kids, we did that with the kids
Mhm.
when they were younger, and they have junior ranger programs, and they go through, and in the program that they had here was that decisions, they had to make decisions, do you try to escape, or do you do this, do you trade your food for something, or do you do this, because that was things that was going on, then. And they kind of say, well, if you do that, go to here, if you do this, go to there. And it kind of, got them to think, about, how some hard decisions and things had to be, whether you survived or you didn't. um but yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was very, very brutal. Now, one thing about Andersonville that I did not prepare in for tonight, that would have to be something that we have to do if we do a stream about it, is that it's also the National Prisoner of War Museum, also
Mhm.
for all the wars and all, not just Andersonville. So
Yeah,
that's something we're not able to show here. Um,
it was
but
closed when we got there.
it is a big place. It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
very important prisoners of war. Um, so, because I think this is the one where our friend had an uncle or somebody that was buried,
Mhm.
and we were able to find, well, not on this trip but on another trip, was able to find uh, the marker for him.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So then, folks, that brings us on the drive home.
Yeah.
Woo, homebound. So exactly. So we're in the car. They're heading south, and let's see. All right. Woohoo!
And I'm going to say, Dadman drove all of that, but probably what, the last 100 miles,
Probably the
or
last 150 miles. I just got short of 59. I was right about 1,500. I wanted to do the whole thing, but well, the problem was we're starting to get down to the I-10, that boring ass area,
yes,
and that I just never wanted to. I was like,
yeah.
I knew I was tired at that point. I was like, hey, I need to not. I knew my limits, and I knew I'd had enough at that point. So
But
it
when we
was.
got home, this is the statistics: 6,009.6 miles we drove from leaving our driveway to
Yep,
pulling into our driveway. And we drove almost 50 hours, 49 hours. No,
149
I'm sorry,
hours.
100, because it flipped. It only goes up to 100. So we
Yeah.
drove 149 hours and 39 minutes. I'm
Wow.
tired just looking at that.
I tell you, I just got to that point. I'm just like, I've got to. I was like, I'd had it.
Hmm.
I was so disappointed because I really wanted to do the whole drive. So, you know,
But yeah, but I'm proud of you. You did good. You did
Thank
good.
you.
And on the trip, this is your last slide, right?
I believe it is before the
Okay.
next thing, so I'll
Okay.
take it
So
down
don't
here.
show. Yeah, don't show mine.
All right.
So we had talked on the trip that I was trying to think of a name for our Kia. Now, our Kia, I have decided it's a girl. She's a hard worker. She's from South Korea because Kias are made from South Korea. So I wanted to, excuse me, my ear itches. So I
Yep.
wanted to think of a Korean name. And so I was trying to look for a Korean name that meant strong or something along those lines. Well, a lot of them I could only find were boys' names. One was Kwan, which means strong, but it was a boy's name. I did find one that meant one who is mighty and strong, but it also was a boy's name. That was Kang Day or Kang Day, but it was a boy's name. And I'm like, I was getting frustrated because I really couldn't find one. And then I thought, wow, she did such a good job. She is just like the ultimate girl, the ultimate car. And so I saw one that meant ultimate girl in Korean.
Really?
And I'm going, that is the name. And so when we got home, we took and we took we named her Bong Cha, which means the ultimate girl. And she went on to a spa day. She had gone over 6,000 miles, 66,000 miles.
Hmm.
So she got her oil changed. She got a little pampering. She got those are the belts from
AC
our
belts.
from the car, the AC belt. The other ones were not bad, but they were getting rough. So we changed her belts, and she just got just the treatment, and she was so happy. When they tested the car, we realized later that they only turned right, made right hand turns, because the next day or the day after, we were turning left and it would squeal again. And so I thought, oh, they must need to tighten the belt. So we brought it in and they tightened the belt, and that wasn't the problem. She was having a little tantrum. She wasn't feeling good, and we could not figure out what was wrong with her. And so they looked and they go, well, we think it's they said the power steering pump. Whenever you turn the power steering pump, it freezes, it stops. So they replaced the power steering pump, and we thought that that would fix it, but it didn't fix it. And they worked on it, and they didn't get the pump in until Thursday, and they couldn't find out what was wrong with it. And so she was just so uncomfortable and not happy. And so they took and they're calling specialists. They called the Kia master mechanic at the Kia place trying to figure out how to fix this problem. We were supposed to go out of town, and I think she didn't want to go. And so she was just kind of having a little fit. Well, we went to get a rental car because we needed to go see our oldest. And as we were driving there, I realized I left my purse at home. So we had to go back. Hey, theme park casual.
Hello. And
So we
Lisa
had,
loves Long Cha name.
yes. And so we had to go back to the house. So we got my purse. And I'm so glad we that happened because we were on our way back to the rental place and we're almost there. And we get a call from the mechanic that says, we've got it fixed. You haven't rented the car yet, have you? And we're like, no. We said, have you driven it? We told him to drive it. We told him to go on the expressway. We said,
Yeah.
make sure. And it was fixed. Well, Bonchon was a little gassy, and we're not talking about fossil fuel. She had a little air bubble in the line, which apparently you have to burp Kias in a very special way. You have to raise up part of the vehicle and you have to turn the steering wheel left and right and left and right and left and right over and over again. And the Kia specialist said sometimes you have to do it 100 times before the air bubble works its way out. Well, they had been turning it left and right all day, so I think that helped. So it didn't take that long. But the mechanic said, "Yep, I saw the air bubble come right out, and then everything worked fine." And she has been doing a wonderful job since then. So she is Bong Cha, which means the ultimate girl, and we love her, and she just does fantastic. And so that
Yay.
is, that is our story about our Kia, who I love tremendously. Um,
Yay.
and this is not a picture of our Bong Cha because we want to keep her anonymity as much as
Yes.
we keep our
Hey,
anonymity.
guess what, though, Mrs.? On the end of that, of course, a big hello to Theme Park Casual. We've got a new subscriber, Christopher King.
Oh, thank
Hey,
you.
welcome.
Thank
Hey,
you for subscribing.
thank you. I've not
Yay.
seen you out in the chat, but it came through on the YouTube
Oh, there
notification.
you are.
There you go. Hey, all right. Yeah, it's
Oh,
going well. It's going
yes,
well.
thank
We're
you.
wrapping up this still a little bit of recaps, our journeys. We've got 6 other recaps and then a lot of other stuff that we've done recently. So yep. So hey, glad to have you.
So,
Yeah,
so,
TPC,
so,
it's kind of been interesting. So
yes, it has been.
we still got 60. Make sure y'all vote in the poll. We only got
So,
32 votes.
so that is
Yes.
Bong Cha.
All
Um,
right.
so yes, so she's doing good. She's got a name, and we're all happy.
Yay.
I
All
wanted
right.
to share some of the apps that I've talked about a lot during these shows. We use roadtrippers.com. It's an app. This is on the computer. It makes it easy. You can do it on the computer. You can get the app on your phone. I do not. I know it does not work on if you have um, um, like the. I think is it the Fire, the Amazon. It doesn't work on that, but it does work on I know iPhones, and I believe it works on Android. Um, and it's a wonderful app. That's where we found some of the neat stuff. Some of the small attractions. The Smokey the Bear, the rocking chair, Bamahenge, Popeye statue, the meteorite statue. This trip, so many of those. One place we did not get to go, which is the world's largest small appliance museum. Um, but we all those that we found on here. We also found hotels on here. I did not book through here. We did book differently, but you can book on here if you want to. Um, but it has hotels, attractions, gas stations. We found gas stations here, grocery stores. So it's a wonderful app. We paid for the plus. It's well worth it. It's not that much money. I would recommend it tremendously. And there was another thing that we used on our trip, which you guys did not hear about a lot. It's called the Guide Along, um, and it gave audio commentaries. So here's the website for that. It's also an app. It used to be called Gypsy Guide. Um, they do commentary as you're driving, and in areas where there's really not a lot to say, they tell stories. Like we learned about stuff about Mount Rushmore, about some of the creators of Mount Rushmore. You do have to pay for these. I think it was well worth it for us. They're not that expensive. Um,
Imagine
yes,
the Berkeley.
yes.
Oh,
Um,
Mr. Angel's got a question. Do I pat a car on the trunk or the exhaust to make it burp?
well, this one you had to lift the front up and kind of pat the middle, kind of like the back. I think is what how you had to do this one.
Yeah, I
Um,
almost wonder if
yeah,
it's like patting the back because of
yeah.
the. Yeah. All
Um,
right. So.
but this was really neat. Yes, these costs, but we they were well worth it. We listened on our phone. These are the ones that we got. And we listened to the Yellowstone National Park. It helped us find the overlook where we got some of those beautiful views of Yellowstone Lake. We would not have seen the petrified tree. We would not have gone there. There was a couple other things that we would not have seen if we didn't have these apps. So if you want to do some traveling, this is a neat thing to do. We're not sponsored. We're not in getting any reimbursement for these. These are just things that we actually used and really, really, really like. Now the next
Absolutely.
thing, some of our favorite things.
All right. Before we do that, Mrs., let me
Uh huh. Oh,
because I'm
I
going to
know
take back over, right?
for a
Yeah.
little bit, yes.
Let me say we've gotten 33 votes. We
Oh,
still have small attractions at 33%. So,
ooh,
folks, this is the part of the show. Please, if there's specific small attractions that you liked, that you remember, try to throw them out in chat so we can kind of talk. See, we might be able to talk about them a little bit as we see them. That leads live drive streams. If there's a particular drive stream you like, say something. 24%. Food and nature tied still at 21%. So, hey,
but you know what? Those are all still kind of good numbers
very
there.
good,
All
close,
of them.
yes.
There's not. They're all yeah,
With
pretty
32
cool.
votes. So hey, and JT's singing already. So okay, so my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mark, damn it, Mark, you better still be here because the food's coming out.
Yep.
This was one that the Miss and I, by all means, definitely agreed on this one completely.
Yeah.
It just was not a doubt. If you knew us and how we've talked about it on Mark's show,
Oh,
everywhere else, Uncle Lou's famous. I don't know if it's called fried chicken, but it's like it's I don't know. It's Uncle Lou's. Just find
Uncle Lou's
just
fried chicken.
yeah, find it in Memphis, Tennessee. The best damn
Oh,
chicken you'd ever see. Not
oh,
greasy, not overly battered. That it actually tasted like the skin
oh.
had taste. It was awesome. The
I'm going to confess something.
what?
I don't really like chicken.
Yeah, I know
I
you don't.
love this. Usually it's dry and or too greasy or oh, I love this chicken. I would go and eat this chicken.
Well, it was so good. We did that. We actually
Yes.
looped where we looped. We crossed right back through Memphis,
If,
and magically we were right down the road from it.
yep.
Yeah, Mark saying, "Good thing he's skinny and can afford the calories." Oh my gosh.
Oh, I don't care anymore.
Exactly. But hey, so if y'all remember small attractions, let us know if there's any particular sites. Now, Mr. Angel, I did show one night there is a place in Kansas that has clam pizza on the menu.
Yep. Hmm.
Mark, I guess, is ahead of his time or whatever, or just their B from O. I tell you what, not sure where you are, but however long it takes you to get to Memphis, go here.
I'd make a
Go
trip to
here.
Memphis just to
If I
eat
live
there.
where probably anywhere in Alabama, I think I'd be heading up to Tennessee very quickly if I could, just to get some damn chicken. I was like, if I was in Louisiana, I'd drive up there. It was so good. So
If I'm from Florida, I would drive up there.
yes, I would think about
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
But look at the honey glaze on the biscuit because the biscuit had glaze honey. They were crispy biscuits. They were really, really good. Of course, the mac and cheese in the back had honey into it. They incorporated honey into that. It is Uncle Lou's. Uncle
There's
Lou's.
the cup right there. Uncle Lou's
Yeah.
fried
Well,
chicken.
can you find their link while I'm doing these
Yes,
couple?
I will
Maybe.
look. I will
Okay.
look.
The green beans may not look great, but they were good. They really were good green beans. But the French fries were off the chain as crinkle cut fries go. But hey, Uncle Lou's. So make sure you hit that. Yeah, exactly. From Memphis, Tennessee, and it was so good we looped it. I hope we can show the map again, Mrs. I actually I'm going to bring your screen up real quick, okay? Because I want to show
Okay.
something real quick.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because right here, you can see right down there, right there is where we made the crossing over at Grace,
Right.
right in Memphis, right there.
Is it what right along like
Yeah,
is it
that previous slide had a better view.
what previous slide?
Well, whatever was before this one, but that's the area, folks. That's where
Oh,
we
it
ended up.
was showing the background.
Okay. Oh, it was. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So anyway, but that's where we looped, and that's where Memphis is. So
It's like a right here, 50 one of these right here.
yeah, exactly. Well, we always do that around here.
It
So
goes up here and there. So like in
yeah.
59.
I'm sorry, I did that. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
There we go. There we go. Like this, right there at 55. So okay. That's where Uncle Lou's is. So, all right, folks. That was the one that we
This is
adamantly had to do together.
this is a tough web address.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Uncle Lou's
Uncle Lou's
fried
fried
chicken.
chicken. Hey, there you go. Go check it out. And Uncle Lou was great because the first time through, he greeted the whole group and stuff like that. He came out. He dragged chairs around from us. Oh, Mrs., that was a great story. Remember, because see, the first family drama on the trip was the night before or that morning was like, we're not going to Uncle Lou's today. And Dadman pulled a Dadman rage fit and said,
Oh,
screw everybody. I'm going to Uncle
he's like,
Lou's.
that's the only thing I wanted to do.
Yeah, forget Old Faithful, forget Colorado, forget all that crap. I wanted to do Uncle Lou's.
And so I basically said, you guys can do what you want. We're going to Uncle Lou's. We'll see you at the other side.
And amazingly, everybody followed us. And then I just told Uncle Lou, yeah, no, people wanted to ditch, and we were coming anyway. And he laughed at it. But he was a nice guy, a great guy. And actually, they remembered us because the next week he wasn't there, but one of the ladies remembered us coming in with a big group the previous week.
And then they gave us a sample, something they're thinking of putting on the menu.
Yep, exactly. Corn was lovely. Well, I'm going to start this with JT Kirk real quick. I'll come back to that. Okay, so actually, there were a couple starred right here, Chrissy. Well, actually, I'm going to come back to that. I did want to hit this one first, though, about the falling star. Oh, look, a falling star. Why is it getting brighter? Ooh, adds getting hit by meteor to the bucket list. So that's radiation poisoning. Volcanic eruptions, hit by meteor, fun vacation.
Yeah, and we were near a nuclear power plant that could have exploded. But
yes,
we were on top of a volcano, which is Yellowstone.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, because
we could have been abducted by aliens because we were at Devil's Tower.
But yeah, I forgot about that. That Grand Gulf had the nuclear fallout with the thing. You're 10 miles from a plant. It's like hilarious. So, oh man, good memory, sir. Good memory. So, all right. Well, let me get back to this. Okay. Snortapoopus.
Hello.
Snortapoopus. I hope you heard me praising Grant earlier. I got some slides of your Mr. Grant earlier in the stream. If not, go back and take a look at Shiloh if you can, sir. It's okay. Well, you know what? I guess I have to start the stream again.
No,
I know. But go back.
But
Snortapoopus is go back and check the early part out because we hit Shiloh, and I know you will love the Grant stuff, sir. Good to see you. But thanks for coming in, even though it's late. Hey, better late than never. Okay. My 3 favorite things that I saw with this trip.
Yes.
And y'all make sure y'all vote in that poll. And if you have attractions that you want to say, I highlighted that one. Let's see. I'm just looking to make sure there's nothing else.
Yeah. Well, I'll look. I'll look.
Oh, look at Mark. Look at Mark. Bringing clam pizza in again. Okay. My 3 favorite things. Well, here's one. It's hard. I think all 3 were about the same. I really had trouble, but this wonderful thing, a table, Miss Pac-Man, that also had multiple games like Mappy in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I missed all these 3 the same, I think, but you never know. No. The chicken and biscuits got the attention. Yeah, exactly. Got that.
Yep.
But this one, Mrs. I will say, I think this is probably my favorite one this is probably the one favorite that I really regretted. Not only I wanted a bowl, but the food was great there. The that apple fritter was to die for. And this machine, this thing here, but we had to get to Denver.
Yeah, we had to drive.
And we got to Denver at 11 o'clock in the middle of the dark, construction, pouring down, raining, flooding, nearly hit a water thing. And the missus is singing for the last hour to keep me awake. It's like,
oh, yeah.
But I never got to play this game. Oh, gosh. I really wish that I could have done that. And let me say, Mr. Angel said, your vacations are a mix-up of every disaster movie at once. It's a killer vacation planner. 5-star rating. And hell to Phantom Outsider. Good to see you, sir.
Hello.
Oh gosh, yeah. Mark's the expert on the clam pizza, but I'm, if I can
Our
find some.
philosophy of our trips, and has always been, it's not the destination, it's the journey. There was
Yes.
one time we were in search of a fort marker that was in the middle of the river because they didn't plan well
Yep.
and the river had moved. And so we were driving and we had a rental vehicle and we had bought insurance on the rental vehicle. And Dadman was like, very hesitant to go drive down this kind of rocky path. And I looked at him and I said, Dadman, I said, we're in a rental vehicle and we have insurance. Go find that marker. And he drove down it. Drive it like a man. Go find that marker.
Exactly.
And we did, and we claimed something that was sticking out of the water as the marker. Whether it was or not, we do not know,
Yeah.
but we have claimed it as such.
Exactly. We do. Lisa,
So
all of
we
it's
have,
Pac-Man.
so we have adventures. We this is that when we travel, we have so much fun.
Exactly. I don't know if I could handle the clam pizza. Mark's best offered everybody's clam pizza on him if you can make it to
I'll go
Connecticut.
try it. I'll go up there. I'll go
Oh,
up there. I'll eat your piece of clam pizza for you.
you're braver than me. But that's a Miss Pac-Man machine with multiple games. I would have actually, since it had multiple games, I probably would have been there 2 hours.
Yeah, you would
So
have been there a while.
oh, we got the pizza debate now. So hey, all 117 out of y'all, make sure y'all voted in our poll. Make sure you've hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We've gotten one new sub, Christopher King, tonight. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank
And
you so
I
much.
actually got the notification. So the second thing that I have in here, Paul Course is here. Welcome, sir.
Hello.
You guys are
Don't
you
forget to
guys
hit that like button. Don't forget to vote in the
you
poll
guys are just amazing
and
of how y'all keep coming.
enjoy the rest of the show. We're so glad you're here.
Oh gosh, it's too funny, but it's just this machine would have kept me there for 2 hours, if not more, because uh, it just was like, oh, I couldn't get done with it. Oh, so now basically, we'll go here with this one. The other one, see, I say the first one was the big one. Exactly, Yemi, and then it'll go up again. It's like all over the place. It happens, but hey, that's what I get for being a smartass. But this is one of my favorite moments. I will say, going through Custer. I wish we'd have been in there a little bit earlier, where we could have had some ice cream here. But honestly, I know we did Yellowstone. I know we did so much, but honestly, I enjoyed streaming with the missus and walking with her and just spending time with her in this little small town. It was nice weather, beautiful bison paintings here, and just
Mhm.
this was one of my favorite moments.
That
I
was
mean, I
nice.
know we had a lot of time in the car and stuff, but
The
this,
weather was nice.
not
It was
driving,
nice to walk.
not driving,
The
you and me
chat
just
was
walking
wonderful
together, you and me just walking together, it just,
with all our friends in chat.
exactly.
We had
So,
an intimate walk with however many people were in chat that night.
well, we ditched the family, so that's cool. I'm
uh,
cool. But hey, we got friends. Lobster ice cream? Wait a second.
no, we're just.
Wait, where did that come from?
I think Mark mentioned
Oh
it somewhere.
gosh, Mark, please. Yeah, bison. They really, yeah, bison. Oh,
The
that's
Texas,
what he said. Jeez.
yes.
Yeah. So, but this
Bi-
truly, this.
bison
Mm-hmm,
and buffalo are used interchangeably, but they
yeah.
really are called bison. Bison is their true name. Buffalo, they think, comes from a French word for beef, I think,
Mm-hmm,
and it became buffalo. So
yeah.
that's why they
Well,
usually say it. But the scientific name is actually bison.
yeah. Well, I will tell you though, this was one of my favorite memories.
Yes,
It just
yes.
spending the time with you. We were not in the car, we were not driving, and I liked our drives, but just getting to actually enjoy a town, not being eaten by damn mosquitoes,
Yes, it was
and
beautiful
we were
weather.
in
There
there
was no
before dark.
mosquitoes. It was nice.
So, all right, and then that gets me to my third one that I did here, and I think what I'll do is I'll talk about JT Kurtz. The Lyman Railroad Museum in Lyman, Colorado.
Yes.
this was an amazing time seeing the rail cars, and and actually getting to walk into a caboose. It was really really neat. Uh, the Red Island Railroad went through here and it shut down. And when they shut down, what was neat learning about the little uh, station was that they abandoned when the company shut down, went bankrupt. They just walked out and left everything behind. So, oh gosh, Mr. Angel says Buffalo is French for walking meat on a stick.
Uh,
Oh my gosh!
I'll,
But
I'll accept that.
okay, but that's the three that I had. That's the three that I had, and y'all make sure the poll. Tell us the small attractions you like, because I will say JT Kirk said I love the Yellowstone Old Faithful hot springs, the Uncle Lou's food stop, and those are good ones there. I consider those attractions.
Hmm.
There's a lot of other stuff we've not put in here that were great things. But hey, before I spoil anything else, let me go ahead and let me see who else is here. Uh, so no, he's not joking about anything with clam pizza. But okay, Mrs., it is your turn, my love.
It is my
I'm going to
turn.
take this down, and it's up to you now.
Okay, let me see if I can, if this actually works. Because
Hmm.
when I use this, it does not. Oh, it did work. This was one of my favorites. I love the Porter's Sculpture Garden. It was a surprise stop. One of my sisters was stopping there. Uh, they had grandkids, and they wanted them to be able to run around. And this is in the middle of a cow field, so yeah, so we stopped there and it was amazing. This is just one of the sculptures that he did. He is self-taught. His dad was a blacksmith, so he got a lot of his trade from learning from there. But this was one of them, and it was goldfish jumping out of a goldfish bowl, and there was a little story that went with it. So I really liked this place. I thought it was creative. You got to get out and walk some. You just knew the humor because when you first walked in, they had a sign that says, "Please do not touch the uh, largest ball of invisible twine." Um, and it just, I love this place. I can't, if I could go back there, I would. I love it. I'd like to go see it in a different light. So that was one that I
Yeah,
liked.
because it was late, like 3 or 4 o'clock, because when we left, the sun was
The
about
sun
to
would
start going
start.
down.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Uh,
Oh, this is the one where we went towards Murdo, where we got into the restaurant and everybody else had to eat like scraps, right?
yes, yes,
Yes, yes, exactly. So anyway, sorry,
yes. Um,
but this was a beautiful park, like you said.
so that one was one, and then the other one I liked was the Rocky Mountain Quilt Museum because I love quilts, and this was one of the quilts that was there. Um, and I loved it. And there also was a store there, um, also. So yeah, I got to shop too. But that was my second one, and my third thing that I liked the most was the souvenirs that we got to get. Souvenirs, and more souvenirs. And so I kind of looked through our pictures to see if we had pictures of the souvenirs, and surprisingly, we had quite a few. So we'll start off with our first souvenirs, which were at Grand Gulf, which we got these free little cup cozy things, and we made
Yay!
tea. We made tea for our trip so that we
I love
didn't
the
have
way
to.
you made tea. I love the way
Um,
you made the tea for the trip, and
so, but
we
they
still do
fit
it.
they fit perfectly right in the little cozy. I actually have some tea in my little cozy right near, right beside me. So that was our very first souvenir that we got, and then Dadman got this, which was
Yes. See, I'm a shirt snob. I truly am an elitist when it comes to shirts, because there's the one thing this trip that I found frustrating with the National Park Services in the battlefields. Their shirts sucked. They were either flamboyant or they were not block accounting Boeing type of stuff. They just didn't look right like my old generation shirts. I love this simple colors, simple, just simple. I was really big into this, and this was the first of our surprise stops. I think went at Grand Gulf.
okay. Wait, yes, yes. I'm sorry. I've got to show this one from Snorter
Yeah,
Creek.
go ahead.
Okay, I love this exactly. somewhere.
Yes,
There's the
exactly. At
world's
the
largest invisible cat getting tangled up in the world's largest ball of invisible twine.
good memory, Snorter
Exactly.
Poopus. Yes,
Exactly.
that was at Porter's that had the largest ball of
Yep.
invisible twine.
Yep. Yep.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, how good
Oh,
memory.
I
But
saw
yeah,
that one out of the corner of my eye.
but see, I wanted shirts this trip,
Yeah.
but I could not find those that I liked either for color or for style
Yeah.
block
Some of
boys.
they weren't that they were
They were not
ugly.
they
A
were
lot of them were.
different. They just I didn't
Yeah.
like them.
Yeah.
So, but that was one that was perfect, and that was a small
Mhm.
state park, which
Yeah.
that was the first of our
And
surprises.
liked supporting them and liked
Yes.
supporting them because it was small. It was
Yep.
not a national park. It was
Yep.
just a state park. And then we went to the Minuteman missile site. And I believe all of a sudden I couldn't remember this turtle's name. I believe this is Yertle, the turtle, and he sang a song for if there was a nuclear war about ducking and covering, duck and cover, duck and cover.
You,
Um,
you know, people are going to want you to start singing with that voice of yours.
um,
You
uh,
got an awesome voice.
oh, thank you. I don't think so, but thank you. And I got a T-shirt. So this is what I got. I got this for the youngest
Yes.
because it just was adorable.
Thank you, JT Kirk, for the disclaimer down there too.
Oh yes, thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
We got to over
yes,
disclaim for
yeah.
every galactic order.
These are just fun stuff. That yeah. Please you don't have to buy them. And then Dadman got something here. He got himself a hoodie.
Hey, Dadman Chin reveal. All right.
So that's the hoodie.
Look at that sexy guy. Who is he?
Whoa, whoa, baby.
Damn, I'm studly. Honestly, folks, I've lost quite a bit of weight over the last couple of years, and it's like, uh, it's
He
really
gave it
kind
all
of
to
cool.
me.
No, I didn't.
No,
Don't do
you
that.
you really
Stuff
didn't.
like yeah,
You
but
didn't.
so absolutely. So,
So so
but
that was
yeah.
another neat thing that we got.
Hey, look, Sword Poop says he has a special shirt. I will be modeling it. I never meet anyone from YouTube. Oh, so oh gosh, Snorpoopus. Oh, yeah, the unicorn ice cream is low calorie.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go, Mark.
And
Well,
then this is
look at
something.
this one. No t-shirts are harmed.
No t-shirts were harmed at all. We actually got Yellowstone t-shirts, but we didn't get any picture of them. But this was something I did. I talked about getting the stamps. I showed in one of the streams where you go. They have them at all the national parks. I got these. These are not very big, so they fit nice in my purse. But they have a map of all the national parks. Oh, we got a new person here.
Hello,
After
After Dark
dark.
2019. Good to see
Hello,
you.
hello. And you can get stamps. And this is kind of the thing I did. This was something I really enjoyed doing. So I got stamps and you got stickers. I bought the stamps are free. The stickers you have to buy. Um, but this one was at Yellowstone, and shared about this stamp right here. This is like a favorite thing. This is a stamp that is not out for for public use. It's at behind the desk, and it's at over 100 years old. The physical stamp itself, and you either have to ask for it, or they like I there was nobody there, and I had bought one of these books, and they brought it out and stamped it for
Mm. And
So
that's the top one. It's the
so
top one,
it's
right?
this oval one here. This stamp is
Yeah.
actually the physical stamp is actually over 100 years old. So that's kind of a neat thing that I like doing. Um, and I got a hat at Badlands. I love bucket hats.
Oh, cute nose.
So yeah, there's my nose right there.
That was a cool hat. So
And there was a saying that we used to say as a kid about noses. We said you can pick your friends and you can pick your nose, but it's really nasty to pick your friend's nose. I don't know why we'd say that, but every time I think of that. So, oh, sorry. So we got the Badlands. That's something we got because I love bucket hats, but it was too windy to wear. Um, and then I got these, and when we met Culture, was it? Yeah, when we met Culture, he gave us everybody a poker chip. that had his name on it. And I saw these and I went, that is so cool. And they have, all these different ones. And, on these are the front sides of them. So when we went to, we got Wall and we got the Badlands Ranch where we saw the prairie dogs, Badlands, Mount Rushmore, Iron Man Road. Now, the back of Iron Man Road, it has, this thing about 17 miles, how many curves, the switchbacks. So it has that. Um, Black Hills, which we went through, and Needles Highway, which we went through. So those were all really kind of neat things that we got.
Can I
Um,
digress on something real quick, which is really interesting because the
yeah.
Iron Mountain Road to Black Hills, we bumped into somebody in our town that
Oh,
actually had an Iron Mountain Road shirt, and we're like, "Dang, we wish we
yeah.
had that shirt."
I know they got it like at a RV park or something, but that would have been cool. I didn't see any. I would have gotten them.
I know, but hey,
Yeah.
but no, it
So,
was God. There's so much with this trip.
yeah.
I'd love to do it again.
And then at
Oh, JT Kirk said those look like K cups. Yeah, for a second I
oh,
got extremely excited.
different
I'm going to
flavors
say,
for different places.
let me say something about with this because the other hoodie and this one, listen, you can't find these damn things in Florida. They either go super heavy or way too light. This is that was this cotton material. It's what is that
It
material? Is it cotton or is it?
it's like a knit,
It's like a knit
like a
material, but
sweatpants
it's
knit.
like a sweatpant, but see, it's either plasticky stuff or heavy jackets, and
Yeah.
up here it's like I can't get that right. I used to love these type of hoodie type things, and because I hate the pull over the head hoodies because I don't want to mess my beautiful hair up, but I like the zip ones, and I found two of them on this trip, and it was like, damn it, I got both of them. This was
Yes.
from Crazy Horse, and of course, it being self-supporting, I definitely wanted to help support them with that.
Right.
Um, and the other Minutemen, I just love that. I'd like. I had to leave Florida to find jackets that I can. I call them jackets,
Yeah.
but things that I can actually wear when it's like 50 degrees outside, so the missus doesn't look at me. People, I'll wear shorts in 20-degree weather. I don't care, but I do like to have something on when it's 25 degrees
Yeah.
outside, but not
Yeah.
necessarily a parka. Anyway,
Yeah. Exactly.
I digress. Sorry about
So
that.
so this was a neat thing we got, but they also had some, and I bought some books because I like books, um, and some stickers. Uh, but something that was really neat here that they had was, now these just look like rocks, but these are special rocks. These actually, they have a big bin, and when they finish with whatever they're carving up on the monument, the memorial, they bring them down and they put them
Mm-hmm.
um, in this bin, and they're not clean. You have to wash them off. They're all
Mm-hmm.
sandy and everything, but you pick them, and Eagle Rider kind of helped pick them out. You can't really see, but they glitter. These are really, she picked out some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Actually, I got it right here.
so yeah, I got mine right here beside me. So these were a kind of a very unique souvenir from Crazy Horse Memorial, where the rocks that were actually up there um, uh, at the memorial. So that was a neat one. And then we got a puzzle. This is a full puzzle, full size bison puzzle, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the shape of the head. It's 550 pieces, but when it's done, it's 30 inches by 25 inches.
Yeah. You and your sisters are going to have to do that. I have
It's
no patience. So.
poster. They say it's poster size. It's huge. That's going to be big.
Snorta poopas, I say that all the time. It's like I only have to wear them because she tells me
You
to
have
put
to
them
wear
on.
because
So
you'll get arrested if he doesn't. So this puzzle. So you see how
never
big
tell me
that.
the odds.
So you see how big this puzzle is. And then I got this puzzle. This puzzle, the puzzle pieces can fit, one puzzle piece can fit on a penny. That's how small they are. There's 140 pieces, and it makes a 5 by 7 puzzle, 5 inches by 7 inch puzzle. So that one, as big as that other one was, this one is small. So um, that's kind of a cool thing I got. I love puzzles. Ah,
Yeah. Yep. So it's
yeah, bison do like to do puzzles when they're bored.
yeah.
Snortapoopus. He goes, bison puzzle? I didn't know bison like to do puzzles. Silly.
No, look, as long as my sister-in-law's help the missus, I'm okay. I like to sleep on puzzles.
Yeah,
I don't
me too.
have patience. It's like I'm like
Yeah.
take a hammer and hammer it all together. But there were is that the last one that you had with that?
No, no,
Okay,
I
all
got
right.
more.
Because I was
We
gonna.
got more. We got more souvenirs.
All right, cool. Wow, dang.
And these
Oh
are little
gosh,
bars of soap. These are
yeah.
little bears. And we got these at the hotels at Yellowstone. Now, we only were supposed to probably have two of them, but we went as we were checking out. This lady asked, "How was our trip?" And I said, "Well, the people could have been nicer, you know, the night before. They weren't very nice. They were kind of, yeah." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And she goes and comes next, goes, "Here, have some more soap." So she gave us a couple more bars of soap. I'm like, "Oh, thank you." So we got 4 bars of bear soap. But I thought they were cute.
Oh,
So
start a poopus. Bear shaped
yeah,
soap. Now that's kinky.
yeah, we're not. Yeah, we're yeah. I'm going to be quiet. And then at the Quilt Museum, this is I got to go shopping. I got
Yay.
cards and some books and some patterns and some fun stuff. And I got some material, which I never buy quilting material because this packet of material it has 42 pieces in it. And they're 10 inches by 10-inch squares. Cost $48. So I don't buy this fabric ever. This is the first time I ever bought this. So, but it has all these different patterns in it. And it has this one. I just loved it. I thought it was so neat. So I'm going to do what any good quilter would do is I'm going to cut it all up and sew it together to make another piece of fabric.
Why do you do
And
that?
because we're crazy.
Okay, just
And
checking.
this is what you got at Wilson's Creek. This is like a little windbreaker.
Yes, yes, that's another type of jacket that I cannot find locally here. It had the right thickness, and
Hmm.
it just I can't find this stuff even at the WalMarts. It's just I don't know if I
Yeah.
just go to the wrong WalMarts or whatever, but I these were fascinating because, like I said, I'm a shirt snob. I like my I'm boring. I'm an accountant, and it comes through in my styles. And I don't like goofy looking shirts and jackets. These three jackets were what I wanted in terms of style, material, and they
Hmm.
had a good design. It was not silly, stupid. I mean, I'm sorry. I like plain and
Yeah.
respect. It just like multicolors for Vicksburg or whatever that was like, yeah, it just did not. It just felt
Yeah.
out of place, and so that's just me. So, but yes, so
Oh, and this one, this is, I think it was so
this was
neat.
a very special one. Yes,
Okay, now you saw the Horseshoe Bend. These are wooden. They used to be plastic, but these are wooden and it's etched. It's not like inked on. They're
yeah.
actually you can feel like it's so cool. And
See,
I was talking to the ranger and I was telling her, how much this was just amazing. We're so glad we found it. We did a live shot. We shared it with people. We hope more people come. I just was gushing and just because I was so excited and I just was really so impressed with the facility and everything. And she goes, "Wait a minute." And she goes back and she goes, "This is what we usually give when people complete the Junior Ranger book, but I'm going to give you one." So she gave me a Junior Ranger pin. And I just think that is so neat. And that is the design from the Perpetual Blessing blanket. Um, so that's a very special gift that was given by one of the park rangers. And I
because
just thought,
most of them for the junior rangers are plastic. They're kind of shiny and bright, because they're just cheap plastic. But yeah, this one
yeah. I think they've
definitely,
started going to the wood where they do the inking and then the
yeah.
the engraving on it.
See, Parkour said, I do that with a laser engraver for my job, except I laser cremation urns made of wood and marble.
Oh, I bet they're beautiful.
Wow, that's nice. That's
Yeah, I
that's
bet
really
they're
really
beautiful.
cool.
So
Wow.
that was a neat one. And this is what
Yes.
I this is what I bought at a lot of the national parks. If I saw one, I got it. Um, so these are the bigger ones, and then they have all of these little small ones here. And this was my real the stamps and this were my obsession.
Yep.
Um, so
And I started looking for you too. It started small and then became addictive too. So it
yeah,
was very fun.
I bought so many at where was it? Devil's Tower. And they
Hmm.
had if you spent $75, you get a free little tote bag. A little, like the little bags that you put stuff in. And I spent over $150.
Yep.
And I went and I jokingly said, "Oh well, since I spent $150, can I get two of them?" And she goes, "Sure." And she gave me another one. It's like, "Oh, cool." So, so yeah, these are not Legos. These are mini building block sets, and I'm really looking forward to doing them. Uh, so,
Snore. Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah. Snore Poop said, tried to take a souvenir from a hotel once, but I found out you're not supposed to take the maid with you. Who knew? Oh.
Snortopoopas.
Well, hey, this one was weird. Is that Mr. Angel said he actually called guests stealing an 85-kilo hotel mattress. I'm not surprised when I see guests leave with suitcases filled with soap, shampoo, and towels. So.
Now I'm gonna say I don't know where you live, but in our country they have a fee that you pay that is put on your bill,
The
and
resort
it is,
fee?
but it's for the soaps. It covers the soaps and the shampoos and all that.
Uh,
So we paid for those. So I do take them.
yeah, I
Now
agree.
now I don't take towels,
Leave
and
nothing behind.
I don't take towels and stuff like that.
That has happened before, Lisa. And definitely tissue. Definitely
I have
tissue.
taken tissue because I've had a runny nose and we didn't have any.
Oh my gosh. You guys are so funny in the chat. There
Oh,
there, there were a couple more things that came to mind I wanted to say
so
when we
this
were
is the last one. So I
so
just want
that's the
that's
last
just
one.
the piece de resistance of what I got. So yeah. See, there's the Devil's Tower with the legend about the bear making the scratches, and the Badlands and Old Faithful and the White House and Mount Rushmore. And I
Yeah.
got and the volcano because Yellowstone is a volcano.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so well, I felt that was appropriate. So that's all
Yes.
I have. So
Yes, absolutely. Real quick. A couple of things. A couple other memories that jumped out, and I think that really weren't repeating something about this. Uh, Sarapupus, the TV, you got to have limits.
you know what they do is they've got the TVs actually
We did
squeaking.
we?
Wait. You're not allowed to. It's illegal. It's illegal to take anything out. Any you. So no, I did not bring in home any
We
rocks.
got the one from Crazy Horse because they let
Crazy
us
Horn
do that.
because they gave, and it's not a national park, but
But the
they
miss,
gave them to us.
but the
But
missus got to pelt me with a snowball a few times.
yeah, yeah,
That was
because they
awesome.
even say that like with the deer, like the mule deer, and them when they shed their antlers, you're not even allowed to pick them up and take them.
Yeah, they were big about that. But
Yeah,
I will say what is well, I have a couple of memories I want to show, but lately there's been some crazy stuff in the news. And that's what's sad is because they've had instances up there of people taking selfies by bison walking up to them. Last week though, Buddy had mentioned that, and there was a news story that somebody had gotten gored by a bison because they are dangerous animals, and you don't approach them for any reason if you could. You know what I mean?
Right, yes.
So I agree. And then, yeah,
Well, if there's
exactly. You
nothing to
can't
talk
help
to
that.
you don't realize it, then it's just what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Exactly. Oh, it accidentally like, hey, don't say it's impossible. What?
Yep.
Don't say it's impossible because the lady got hit by a falling rock in Alabama.
Yep. You're
And
right.
snort poopers, I'd love to have one of your cousins climb the car. I think it'd be
I
a
would
fun,
be
exciting trip.
outside the car so fast. The
Oh
only
no.
way I wanted to see one of your cousins was I wanted to see one up close, but I wanted it to be while I was in the car and it crossed the road, and I could go, "Ooh, a bear!" But yeah, not the only ones we saw were way far away, and I was very happy.
Yeah, it's I will say it was a lot of fun. The thought of a bear, seeing a bear. Unfortunately, we got a few good views. I was surprised the views turned out as good as they did, but
Yes,
it's it was. I thought we'd have seen couple more bears, but we did get some. The probably disappointing was it would have been cool if we could have seen the bear cubs in that one.
yes, I
You
would have
know,
loved. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. But I will say, going back to a couple of things that, because yeah, I want to talk about. Oh yeah, Mr. Angel. You know, yeah, exactly. That's what is crazy. You know, that is crazy how people would do that because like the missus said that they're faster than you expect. They've warned people to stay at least 25 yards or three
They
cars
say
away or
three
something.
bus links away from them.
Yeah, yeah, but it's really 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 cool with that though. So yeah, still won't. Yes, yes, I do would like that real quick. I'm going to hit what Mr. Angel said over here though real quick. I think it was him that I starred earlier. Because folks, I don't know if you know I, I I don't know if you were with us on this drive stream. Uh,
Oh,
yes, the white lines. You remember the painter?
oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so
Oh my
funny.
gosh! For like 30 miles, we had white paint down the middle of the.
I wish I could remember what day that was.
That was a time. So if you were not there, folks, really think of a painter truck. The line striping truck driving down in the right lane of a road, but having like his painter going, not sealed, but he's driving 55 miles an hour down the road for so many miles. We followed that. That became
The
the hot
focal
topic
point.
of the whole stream.
Yes.
You know, it's yeah, it was like, and we kept laughing about it. It kept going. You know, that was what's so crazy about it was that it was like we kept joking, like, is it going to end? And we kept talking. The stream kept going. I think it must have been an hour or something.
It was
It was
a
crazy.
long time that it was.
Yeah, I bet you would. Snort a poopus, enjoy for posing for photos with tourists. Oh my gosh. And what? No selfies with Mama Bear? Nope.
We
Um,
did see some people.
City folk don't run from wildlife, only panhandlers. Yes, exactly. That's what they do. But yeah, it's something. If you're ever up there, don't. Well, that's brings us to the other story. One of the biggest shorts that helped grow the channel while we were going and keep us going was a bison in the parking lot. Just not even 12 hours earlier, I told the missus, let's walk to the geysers. I'm not walking in dark because there's wildlife out there. I said, there's no wildlife out there. We'll be fine. And here comes bison right in our parking lot. Just took a dump and kept moving. It's like, hey. So that was a funny one that we had there too. So um, that's that was some of the other. That was one of the things that we had as a good memory that was there. And that's the thing. Things keep popping back to us. We got 93 likes. We got
Wow.
114 now watching again. So 93 likes. Let's get 7 more likes before we go. Let me see where the poll is before we start to wrap a few things up. So let me see here. Let me see where we are with the poll. We are at now small attractions with 39 votes leads 31%. Food at 26%, live drive streams at 23%, nature and wildlife. So if you can, the small attractions, if you can remember what some of your favorite small attractions are, see if you can share that with us if possible. So, and like Mr. Angel said, if it's true, the driver didn't notice he sprung a leak in his paint hose. Wonder if he fell asleep behind the wheel. He either fell asleep, but I couldn't imagine him driving that far back to get another load of paint. So that was like paint. That was just.
I wish we could figure out which one that one was, because that was. We'll have to look for it.
Yes. All right, Mrs. Is this the one? Do we have the video, or is this just a photo?
It's photo.
Okay.
I got a bunch of different photos.
Okay. All right.
So we'll do the photos. And
all right. I will throw it to you then, or do you want me to go bring it up and I'll talk about it? Yeah, it did go on forever. It did.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to bring this up. Oh, you got it? Okay. This, folks, is the Illinois monument at Vicksburg. I believe, did I put a short up on this one?
I don't know if you did or didn't.
If I didn't, I will put a video or I will put a short on this one at some point because, folks, what this was really
I have other pictures of this.
You can go ahead through it if you want to. Yeah,
it's going to be kind of interesting.
I'm just trying to figure out. But see, what I've got to do, and I do want to, when we do a longer, more in-depth Vicksburg, I will show you.
This is
the
right
audio. That's what I'll do, because I know Snorta Poopus would like more of Vicksburg too. I will do a more detailed Vicksburg down the road, but I want to bring in the audio from inside. Mrs., if you could go back to that Malice. That's
you want the audio?
No. I just wanted that on the outside where it said Malice with none. Lincoln's famous speech. There, they etched some of that famous speech into the exterior of the walls. You will see.
It's right up here, right here.
Mm-hmm. It's 47 steps up there to represent the 47 days of the siege. And if you got the internal pictures, I can explain what's in there. See, as we walk inside, I did not get this. Now, right there, if you can make that larger, straight ahead. Okay, what you have here with this, right there.
Is that one?
No, go back up higher a little bit.
So you go back
up. There you go. Back it out just a little. Okay, right there. Okay, so right there, what you've got.
I see you wanted all of them.
Yeah, what we got right here is when you walk into the Illinois Monument, you've got Abraham Lincoln and the commanding general Ulysses S. Grant right in front and center. Then you have the corps commanders out from that. Then you have the divisions and all that, based on size. So John Logan, John McClellan, very famous generals, the corps commanders. It just was an incredible memorial. Now, on the bronze statues, parts down below, where the missus has, that is, I think, his Gettysburg speech. I don't, it's
hard to read.
Yeah, it's hard to read. But if you look to the left, and imagine, let's see, I don't know how far you can go back. This circles all the way back to the front of the entrance. Okay, both ways. So starting from the left and circling all the way around to the right. It lists every single unit and soldier that was part of any Illinois unit at Vicksburg. It was very interesting to see because if you were with our live stream when I was talking, a man came up to me, mentioned about he was looking for a relative, and we told him about the Illinois Monument, and he said he had a relative in the third. I think it was the 3rd Cavalry from Illinois. We bumped into him after he left this, and he said he found his relative in there on the wall. It was really, really cool to see. So talk about, it was a cool stream crash, but yeah. And yes, Mrs. remembers every one of those steps. I know, Snorta Poopus. You were a big cheerleader that day, I think.
I am so lazy that, yeah.
Yeah, McLaren.
I'm trying to find the stripes. I'm trying to look through the roads and find the stripes.
Okay, but basically at the bottom of the floor it has the Illinois state seal, a lot of
I
tiles.
don't think I have that one.
Yeah, it's an open vault. There's a big hole in the ceiling. It's built that way so you have a lot of spooky echoes from it. And so when we do look at Vicksburg at some point, I do plan to try to have that audio because it is definitely it's one of the eeriest memorials I've ever been in because it feels like you're in a vault, and which is really what you are. But with the echoes there, it's just an amazing thing to actually see. So, I think that would be
I
it.
was hoping I was going to try to find it, but I can't. I'm going to have to just look for it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do it.
We've
So
got you guys give us some views and let go. You guys scour all these detour videos and see if you can find it.
exactly,
It's your homework.
exactly. Hey,
Yeah, I'll see if I
yeah,
can find it.
hey, we got up to 39 votes so far. We just need one more.
Wow,
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. So hey, so we still got 109 watching. So all right. Well, Mrs., do you have anything else? I don't see really anything else with the people in the chat though.
No,
If
I just
Let y'all have any memories or something that y'all want to talk about that jumped out at y'all. I I mean I think
I
I just the one disappointment was I did not finish the last hour and a half home driving because I really wanted to drive 6,000 miles, but I just couldn't at that point. But the things I enjoyed rolling down the window with the cars. I mean, and the Kia name is Bong Cha, right?
yes,
And what does that mean again?
the ultimate girl.
The ultimate girl. Well, you know what? That's what she was. She showed it. So, all right. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't.
What
Yeah.
I really loved the drive streams. I mean, I loved the whole trip, but I would tell you those drive streams were so memorable to me. That's actually what I voted for on the poll because um, it really was just like you all were there. I mean, we had like a big old party bus, and you guys saw me sometimes when I was a little delusional. Um, uh, but we just had fun, and I loved them, and I want to do more of those. I think they were fun. Um, thank you all for coming with us on our trip in real time. And also, thank you all for coming back and sharing the memories with us again.
Mm-hmm.
It was lovely. And we're planning on doing a trip in October. And I'm sure there'll be some more drive streams and stuff going up to hopefully Williamsburg and around. Um, so
Yeah.
Oh, the Dorito. Oh, did you guys remember the Doritos when I bought the Doritos and tried them? The different flavors of Doritos? Is that what you're talking about? Um, if
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you flashed the guy. I mean, you didn't flash the guy. You
oh yeah, so I was eating the Dorito. I didn't flash him. Would you please stop? I waved at him and showed him the Dorito bag, and he honked his horn.
damn. That's a good memory, Parkours.
Yes, I forgot about that one. Oh, I remember doing that as a kid. You try to get them to honk their horn.
That is an awesome. That is
Yes,
awesome.
I forgot
That's what
about
I'm
that
saying.
one.
If folks, before we wrap up, if there's anything like that that y'all remember, help us remember some of that because it's awesome to see that, and we'll talk about that. So, but yeah, I remember that now because it was like the BLT flavor and the tomato flavor, right, or ketchup.
There was tangy ketchup and BLT.
Yeah.
There was BLT Lay's and tomato ketchup Doritos. And yes, Mr. Angel, that's our motto. I think that's like our family. What is it? Our family motto. It's
Well,
not about the destination. It's about the journey.
I tell you what, I really enjoy. I hate driving. You know, I was very anxious about driving in mountains. And there were a couple mountains that were kind of little, but the car did great, and it was not as bad as I thought it would be. even braking coming down. It was pretty cool. But I could not believe I drove that much. I don't. I'm usually the passenger and stuff like that. But it was the Kia was so much fun. The car definitely earned the name. It was so wonderful, especially that part when we were going towards Cody. We had some high angles and high dips and stuff, and that was interesting. That was interesting. And another thing, we crossed the Continental Divide three
Three
times.
times. Yep.
At three different elevations, and it was like, man, that was nice to so. Parkour said they sent us a lot of safe prayers. We were nervous too. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. The
Oh,
worst thought that I had was getting stuck in those thunderstorms and stuff out there. Uh, we did have family members that were terrified. They had grandkids with them that were terrified because they got in a big hailstorm in a place. So that we avoided it.
but
So
the one thing I told Deb, my thing was is if we, our car broke down and we're
yeah,
stuck and we because it seemed like nobody ever went by. I
yeah.
looked at him and I said, "We've got food,
Hmm.
we've got blankets."
Hey, you got me your portable
I,
furnace.
I, I said we got what did I say? I said we got food, we got water, we got blankets. I said we might not bake it, but at least we'll be alive for a little
Yeah.
while.
Well, hey, and you got me. I'm your
He
portable
keep me he
furnace.
keep me warm. Yeah,
Hey,
it
but
wasn't that cold.
I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to use a name. But I am going to say something to somebody that I wish I could thank publicly, but I won't because somebody really gave us a gift on this trip that really took a lot of burden off our minds, especially for going out in the middle of nowhere type places that we were going. Gave us an incredible gift that was like not just a battery charger type thing, but could be a
It
battery.
was a portable battery charger. It could be a USB charger. It had a lights on it. It was a wonderful. It still is. It's a wonderful um, addition to our car safety equipment.
Exactly. And you know what? That really that took all the burden off of me, and the
Yes,
business.
yes.
So,
I'm sorry.
oh
First,
gosh,
yes, yes,
next year,
yes.
no, no, I'm probably the first one to go.
Uh,
But you know what? I will say, but the thing is, that took a burden off both of our minds. It really
mhm.
did because we didn't worry. I'm a worry wart also on the road, and actually having gone to some of these places, when we're in the touristy areas and stuff, it was not bad. Hey, no problem, JT Kirk. No,
J-
no
j-
problem. No,
would you give?
not jumpers. This was not a
Yeah,
jumper. This was
yeah,
actually
yes, yes, it did. It
yeah,
was.
they did, but they could also convert to run the car too if you needed it to. It was more than just battery
Oh
jumpers.
yes, but it was you could
Yeah.
attached them to the battery, and you didn't need to attach it to another car to jump
Oh,
the car.
gotcha. Okay, I
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
semantics. Either way, it
Yes.
really worked. It was really, really a
J-
good thing. So
just put another memory up higher up.
yeah, I'm going up higher. Yeah, I
Okay,
got you.
okay,
So,
okay.
first to talk at the Illinois Memorial, reminder you have seen the sign for the Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery in a remote area, part of where the former Joliet Army ammunition plant was searched. Okay, that's cool.
See,
And
I
then
love did we do that a lot. We were when someone we saw the Hermitage,
yeah,
um,
the
and
Hermitage
we
was another just blind luck thing that
it's
we
like, well,
happened
let's
to.
go there, and we went. The
Yeah,
Bush Bean plant. We drove by it, and then we made a point of it was closed when we found it. So we went by it another trip to go to the Bush Bean Plant Museum, and it was really cool.
exactly. So, all right, with that, let's see. All right, well, we'll see where we are with here, and
Oh yeah, this one. Yes,
let's see.
the Dairy Queen one. I do
Oh,
remember that.
sorry, I skipped. Yeah, yeah, the Custer. It was Custer. Yeah, I talked for a while
Yeah.
about DQ. Yeah, we did, and we went there and we got a super jacked up Dairy Queen
Oh man, they were
peanut butter
like, I think
parfait.
they
They
were just
really
like
did
happy
good with it.
someone was there.
Absolutely, I thought they were supposed to close. So, oh yeah, I thought it was a little suspicious about the convenient loss of signal at the Close Encounters Mountain. Yeah, I think Daisy
But
Blossom talked about that
yeah,
too, about us disappearing.
I started thinking of this song in my mind. Da 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 So it goes something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It resonated in my brain while we were there.
absolutely. So yeah, I know. But hey, all right. Well, I think now we went down to 7. Now we're back at 37. But hey, it's great. So, but thank you everybody. Appreciate y'all for being here. Like the missus said, for being along for the ride. It did help y'all us really just taking care of things and killing the time. And also the thing with back to the thing of of course, if we were live and had reception, if something happened, then we got people to call in the Air Force for us or something.
Yes,
But
yes.
hey, all right, Mrs. So
Ah,
with that, I think, are we done?
I think we're done. We're
All
gonna
right.
slap a lid on this one and
Yeah.
call it done.
Thank you to everybody that's been here. But don't leave before we leave. I got to
Oh,
get
we
out
gotta
of
do
here.
the
Right.
poll.
I
Do
got
the
to
poll.
close the
Do the poll.
poll. So we're going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the poll is closed with, let's see, I thought I closed it. No, didn't end the poll. Now with
Oh,
39 votes. Small attractions win 30% of the vote. Food at 25%. Live drive streams 23%, and nature wildlife brought up the rear at 20%. Wow. That is interesting to see. I like how it's balanced, but I kind of thought nature would be a little bit
I
higher.
thought it'd be a little bit higher.
So,
The little side attractions, and you feed them and take them to see the world's largest rocking chair, and they'll be happy
yeah, exactly.
while talking to them on the live stream. We
Exactly.
can do that.
Oh my gosh. Hey, folks. But listen, with 111 of y'all out there, 7 of y'all hit that like button. Let's get to 100 again. Why not? For the hell of it. But hey, I will go ahead and start signing us off to Mrs. if that's
Yes,
okay with
go
you.
right ahead.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well,
And
listen.
let me say thank you to
Yep.
everybody for coming to our streams. We love you all. Thank you.
God, buddy. Now what didn't your brother start that with the Blair Witch? Yeah, I think your brother started that with the Blair Witch, buddy. Gee, Manetti's, please. You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you too, and thank you
Yes,
all for
thank
being out in
you.
these chats and helping keep. I would agree with you, Snorter Poopus. I'm all for it, but she tells me to keep it on and
Yeah,
government.
I don't want him to get arrested.
I don't want to get arrested. Jeez.
At the
Uh,
end of the stream, please look at the flashlight.
oh gosh, yes.
It's now modernized. It's please look at the cell
Yeah, when we're
phone.
walking the trails. Yep, I know. Well, I did. No, I did one in Athens where I walked a trail in the daytime, and that was kind of cool. But it was a little bit. So, but yeah. So let me, folks, if you're new to the channel, I'll put up my Twitter address in a second. Follow me on Twitter, Dadman Walking 55. That's where you're going to see when I go live. The best place to see when I go for the next probably this month will be fewer of the planned streams. It will be more impromptu chill chats like last night, things like that happen, or gaming streams. So follow me on Dadman Walking 55 on Twitter to get and make sure you hit the bell to get the notifications when I go live here on the YouTube side. um, Follow me on Twitch also if you haven't already. All right,
Oh,
we have
talking about Twitter,
yeah,
this
go
is the
ahead.
weirdest thing on my phone. Okay,
What?
when I have an Apple,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how it has all the, I guess all of the phones have. I put my things in little folders on my Apple on
Right.
my phone, and when I look at it, when they're all in the folders, the little Twitter app is a little blue bird. But when I open it up big so that I can pick one out of it, it's the X. It's very, very disconcerting to me. I wish he would pick one and keep it.
I
That's all
agree.
I have to say.
I just don't want to keep getting limited out because I can't
That's
send
crazy.
300,000 DMs anymore. So, but I will tell you, I'm getting a lot from other gaming groups and stuff. So there's a lot of I don't. I wish I could figure out what the stupid rule
What's
was
going on?
to
But
watch it.
anyway,
But
yeah,
yeah,
sorry.
but yeah. Actually, and definitely, Mr. Angel, it was people like you that made
Yeah.
this a ride, a lot of fun.
Yes, thank
Um,
you.
I think there, and then of course there was that on Twitch, and Jess posting the fervently emotes. Yes. Um, Now you post, not tweet anymore. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you. I like your term excrement, though, Lisa. So I think you said it well. So basically, folks, I've got about 6 scheduled streams this month. The rest are going to be impromptus because I've got to get my butt to studying for college football, which will be the first college football show for the SEC, because I focus on the Southeastern Conference, will be August 25th, Friday at 8 p.m., where I'm going to preview the SEC and
Oh,
look forward
wow.
to the coming season. Atwood is here on the Twitch side.
Hey,
Hey, Atwood.
Atwood.
Hey, exactly. Good to see you. Got a good time for uh, the recap or the channel announcements coming up. So join me for that because it's going to be fun for football. Uh, Maybe tonight. I think probably some tonight in a little bit, and definitely some streams impromptu. Okay, Snorter Poopus. Why? Oh, I got you. Yep, I got you. Yeah, okay, Elon, gotcha. But hey, all right, focus, Dad, man, focus.
Focus.
All right, I am proud of this stream coming up Friday night. Listen, I know if you don't like football, just come. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be really, really cool. If you used to like pro football, forget all the politics, forget all the other crap, whatever stuff. Come join me Friday night because me and the great Clobbering Times are going to get together and we're going to talk about the NFL pro. Well, it's actually the Pro Football Hall of Fame, not just the NFL. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This Saturday, they're inducting 9 more individuals into it. 1 coach and 8 players are coming in like greats. If he and Clobby knows all so much of the history of this fascinating attraction. This is one. If we got to Ohio, we definitely would want to hit this thing here. So hey, all right, Disney sheep herder. Disney
Hey.
sheep herder. I haven't seen you tonight, but yeah, licking the light. Thank you. It's been great. Hey, if you missed, go back and watch the replay. Make sure you comment, share the videos, folks. Leave comments, like it, because that helps the algorithm again. So hey, I like this. You don't tweet or post anymore. You leave a poop. Good clarification, Snorter Poopus. But join us Friday night for this. It's going to be a blast. Always love hanging out with the great Clobbering Times. He knows his stuff. This is going to be fun, a fun adventure with us. So this is one of the scheduled streams that we have coming up. With that, I'm multitasking, Mrs. That's why I'm kind of
I
I'm
see.
having
I
to
see.
bounce.
I see.
I'm having to bounce because I forgot to do this earlier. So I'm actually
Oh,
having to.
shame on
I
you.
know I didn't listen to you and I got caught off guard a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
okay. I've learned how to do this stuff. I'm a
Okay.
trained professional these
Uh,
days. I'm going to
okay.
keep calling it that. So, um, but
Well,
that's where we got it. Snort a poopus. I saw that with that snort a poopus right there. So, okay.
American football, of course. Yes. Want
Yes,
me to put it
exactly.
on? I'll put
Yeah,
it
if
on
you
while you're
could.
looking.
If you could. I got it right here. Exactly. So, hey, all right. So now we got with that. And then here,
I
this
was
is all.
trying to figure out where you were taking that from because of the screen, but I got you.
Oh, Disney sheep herder. I thank Jill. Oh,
Oh,
I love
thank
Jill. Thank
you.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you
That'll
so
be the second
much.
sub tonight. We appreciate it because we that will put us up to 422. I think we'll put us 423 now, folks.
And we will
Wow.
definitely thank her. Thank you so much.
Exactly. Yes, 423. Thank you, Disney sheep herder. Appreciate it, and hope to see you around in Jill's chats and other places. I think I've seen you before. What's coming up this month though is not just football. Like I said, random game stream stuff like random chill if I want to, or if I decide to go off the cliff with Hungry Boy, or tell Lisa let's go live and just keep her up all night and that type of thing with random streams. But here's the August schedule: Friday night, the 4th, 7 p.m. Pro Football Hall of Fame show with Clobbering Times. Sunday at 5 p.m. We're doing another collecting with Pat S. because we did not get through all of the stuff we did the first time we had Pat on. We're going to talk video games, arcade, the arcade machines, and some other stuff. He's got a lot. And yes, exactly. I know Jill helps a lot of people. Great lady, definitely. And also, she was here earlier. I don't know if she's one of the 112 still with us right now. On Wednesday night, I'm going to be chilling with the great Miss Martin Muses. This is going to be a fun, interesting stream, uh, and get a chance to talk and to stream with her for the first time. Uh, and guys, you've heard about this. I'm sorry, Hungry Boy wasn't here tonight, but hey, I know he's looking for this. He's already taken pages of notes already.
Uh,
We
I'm
on
so far behind.
February 11th at 8 p.m. The Miss, and I are going to pillage the village.
The village.
Night Charlemagne the Ding Dong is going to get roasted and fire. But we will be fair. There's some things he's already said, giving him some credit for, but it's not much. But hey, we're going to pillage it. So come find out what I did. I actually apologized to the family when I left. Find out why I went that. On the 16th at 8 p.m., please, if any stream you can make, come support us, me with my kid Ang on the 16th at 8 p.m. Ang brought back up, we're reviving the Walking and Rambling podcast. Be a bit different than the way it was used to be on their channel, but come join us for a fun time that night and hang out with us for that. Should be interesting. And then on the 30th of the month, the Wednesday night, standard last Wednesday of the month, I'll have the great Daisy Blossom on with me, talking about the second of the Indiana Jones movies, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. We thought long and hard about it, but decided, we'll go ahead and do this one. Why not? So, not my favorite, not her favorite, but hey, we decided to do it. So, why not with that? So, now let me bounce back over. Mrs. One last thing that I'm going to promote for August 19th. Please make plans to be here with us for our 1-year anniversary streaming celebration. August 19th, 7 p.m. I'm figuring it's probably going to be, I'll get the missus and some other people come on and talk, that type of thing. So, be sure to join us, and it'll be a fun night, and just come hang with us. We got 94 likes. Thank you tonight. We're at 423 subscribers. We got 19 days to get 77 subs. The way yesterday went, I think it's doable, but that would be cool. Exactly. Snort a poop. It's the second of the 3 Indiana Jones movies. So yes, Mr. Angel, thank you for staying up with us tonight, especially on this.
Thank you
Definitely
so much.
get some sleep, because we are shutting down now. But thank you for holding out, and I'm through with the program announcements. So thank you, and you rest well, my friend.
I'm still waiting for YouTube to take some of them away.
I am too, because it's really strange. I mean, we didn't get so many of the subs tonight, but the views. But you know what? Hey,
I'll take them while they're there.
Hey, we didn't do anything. It's just like it's there. We'll talk to bots and anybody else that wants to talk. But you know what? I treat them all as all nice individuals. And hey, some people lurk. Some people don't talk much. But I'm glad. But Disney Sheep's Herder and Christopher Kane, I'm glad that y'all mentioned about the subs, because I don't have the ability to see when people sub, except when YouTube notifies me, and I did see both of those. So thank you so much for that and the subs tonight. So, hey, 19 days, can you do it? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But hey, the most of all is 1 year. Thank you all for being here, and for all y'all that come and hang in the chats. I'm just amazed and floored, and I'm truly humbled about y'all's support. And
yes, thank you.
Y'all stay with us on these adventures and all these streams. So, but hey, come catch us for Fortnite when we do it. It'll be fun. We like blowing stuff up and doing stupid. So, you're laughing. What's up?
No, just being stupid and blowing things up.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. So I might even do a stream tonight.
We're talking about a video game, the benevolent overlords of YouTube.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, we always in our dry wit humors have to talk about that, to the gracious benevolent overlords that are so kind to all of us. Yeah. So with that said, follow us on YouTube and Twitch at DadmanWalking55. You can find our games and stuff. I need to move things back into playlist. I'm behind again, but we do have some playlists on the older shows on the YouTube side. Make sure you follow us on the Twitch side. Like and subscribe, and comment on the videos, share them out for everybody. when you can. Help that algorithm. But like I said, hit the bell, get your notifications on YouTube. But the best way to find out when I go live, just to make sure you don't miss it, or you don't the
Mhm.
notifications if they don't work, follow me on Twitter, Dadman1Q55, and I always tweet out when I go live so that you can join us. So, all right. Well, misses, we got 39, and I'm just still, honestly, folks, I did we closed the poll with 39 votes, right?
I believe so,
I
yes.
think so. I'm truly humbled that so many of y'all spent so much time with us on this trip, and even tonight, last night and tonight, and seeing some. I know Maura's been here a while, Castle's been
Mhm.
here a while. I mean, just Snortopoopas woke up and came in, and Mr. Angel.
Yes. Thank
You
you
know,
all.
that means so much to us that y'all take the time to stay here, hanging with us, laugh with us, and just spending your time with us
Yep.
this evening.
Thank
So.
you all so much.
Yes. On that note, I will say good night, everybody. Make sure you follow me on Twitter because you never know what might happen. Because I don't have to go to work first thing in the morning, so you never know what'll happen later. But on that
Yeah.
note, everybody, y'all have a good night. Go slip. Go slip. Thank you, sir. I'll see that. Okay, on Twitter too. But yes, everybody, go rest up. Have fun. If you're not sleeping, if I'm fortnighting later, I'll be streaming it. So hey, you guys have a great night and have a good time, and love you guys, and thank you for all your support, and you guys rock. And
Yeah.
oh wait, I want to do this is a purpose thing. I'm doing this on purpose. This is actually a good thing. I am putting out in the chat real quick on the YouTube side. Go over here if you like comics and creators and stuff like that. Uh, that Clobbering Times. He's right now talking his Monday Night Comics. Go 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 kind of rate him. Go check out the
No,
show over there.
Dadman Raid.
Well,
Hashtag
you yeah,
Dadman
well,
Raid.
you don't have to do that. You could do it quietly and let him see what happens when everybody comes in. But go show Clobbering
No.
Time some love. He's going to be with me on Friday night. Go say hi and tell him hi, everybody. All right. On that note, everybody, go over there. See you later in a little bit. Take care. Bye, all.
Bye.